on safety initiatives over the last year, implementing several changes included in Georgia's school safety law.
We do have what would be our panic alert system. We do have a visitor management system. We have deployed weapon screening at both the middle schools and the high schools.
Whitaker says this year's summit will focus more on students' psychological safety and why it matters. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Meanwhile, a new bill now being considered by state lawmakers would require all school districts to install weapons detection systems. State House Majority Leader insists student safety remains the top priority. Proponents of the measure say costs would be covered by state grants. Several districts actually installed similar systems following the deadly shooting in Appalachia High School in Barrow County. It is 50 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says any lingering rain will move out later today. Will stay cloudy, though, with a high only reaching the low 50s. We get even cooler tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Well, we're hearing this morning from the EPA as it continues its cleanup and investigation after a spill at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport that sent an estimated 10,000 gallons of jet fuel into the Flint River.
The Flint headwaters are near the airport, and initial containment efforts collected several thousand gallons. Georgia EPD Director Jeff Cowan was asked about the issue while addressing an environmental subcommittee at the Capitol.
We had our folks out there. They've been working on deploying boom, trying to stop the spill going down the Flint. It did impact the city of Griffin's water system. It got to that part.
And the city of Griffin issued an advisory initially shutting off intake from the river temporarily. Though the water has now been deemed safe, some residents reported an odor in their water and an oily residue. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
As the search continues this morning in Tucson, Arizona for the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, investigators say they are taking the release of ransom notes seriously, although it is not known if they are actually legit. Former FBI Special Agent Doug Cowan says the problem is that this case is so public.
Other people know that you have a missing person, and anybody can send in a ransom note and say, yeah, it was us, and we want these millions of dollars in crypto, and you just can't assume that that is accurate.
And so far, there's been little information about the weekend disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, whose critical medication was left at home. Atlanta-based Coca-Cola's biggest rival, PepsiCo, is cutting prices by as much as 15% on some very popular snacks just before the Super Bowl. They include Doritos, Lay's, and Tostitos.
The price cuts are in what stores and distributors pay. They're expected to cut prices for shoppers. PepsiCo also says it expects to gain more space on the store shelves as demand jumps in its clean label products with less sugar and more protein and fiber get more attention.
Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini says it also plans to revamp its Gatorade products, including low sugar options and no artificial colors or flavors. And China is now banning hidden car door handles on all electric vehicles in the country. That's part of a safety concern that's been raised here in the U.S. as well.
The issue? The design integrates the handle into the door and uses electrical signals to activate the latch. Last fall, bystanders in China couldn't open the door to save a driver whose electric sedan had crashed before it burst into flames.
Deborah Rodriguez reports the parents of a teenager in the U.S. actually sued Tesla after Cybertruck's doors could not be opened following a fiery crash that wound up killing 3 people inside. It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start the WSB 24-hour traffic center and smile at Mark McKay.
Thanks, Judd. On the connector, 75-85 northbound. Police holding a right lane live on the jam cam right before Peachtree Pine Street, exit 249. That right lane taken away means all lanes of the connector northbound up to the crash are jammed back at 166 Langford Parkway. Extra heavy trying to get into East Atlanta this morning, leaving Flat Shoals Gresham on the I-20 westbound ride. Heading into the city out of northwest Atlanta is much improved. Still a bit tight out of Buckhead on 400 leaving Sidney Marcus Boulevard, and the I-85 delays inside the perimeter now starting to back up around Claremont Road for that ride to 17th Street. 85 through Gwinnett, still rugged, Stephanie Stallworth?
At times it definitely is. We have a little tap of the brakes there. 85 south getting past 985 as you're merging in. Also gets really tough with the flow check from approaching 316. Heavy on the brakes as you get down through Norcross and down to 285. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies through the afternoon, breezy with a high around 52. Clear and cold tonight, lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy at times, highs in the low 40s. Warming up on Friday with sunny skies, highs in the mid-50s.
50 degrees right now in Union City, 46 on Lake Lanier, 49 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends. We are stuffed to the gills today. I don't know the origin of that phrase. I'm very curious, but I just said it. Stuffed to the gills with news. So much to cover on the Mark Arum Show. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to go live to D.C., the nation's capital. Natalie Brand from CBS. Really big political story broke yesterday after we got off the air. There is a brand spanking new Republican candidate for governor. He is very wealthy and is planning on spending a lot of money on the race for the governor. Political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to join us live at 10:35. The impact that new candidate could have on the race for the governor's mansion on West Paces Ferry Road. Andre Dickens, Atlanta mayor, says, hey, I don't want ice here for the World Cup. Pretty big local story we are going to discuss. And I feel like, Deborah, Santa Claus today. Santa Claus Kapunchka. We have so much stuff to give away. 5K a day bonus blitz keyword coming up in about an hour. Another chance to win $1,000. And then we have not one, but two amazing prize packs. I'm trying to figure out when to give these away. What do we have today on the table?
So first we have a $150 Busted Out gift card, which is perfect because Valentine's Day is coming up. And then we've got tickets to see Paul Simon, and that show's in the summertime. So we got you covered for that.
Wow. All right. I really feel like Santa Claus. Does that make you Mrs. Claus and Vinny's the elf?
The elf?
Yeah. What was the name of the elf in the elf movie?
The elf movie.
The Will Ferrell character. Buddy. Vinny is Buddy the elf. Longoria, you're the mean dad in the elf movie. I want to start off, though, with a story that has really captured the nation, and that is the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Covering the story and joining us on the Mark Arum Show, correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, I guess now the search for Nancy continues and the manhunt ongoing for her captors?
Well, some, and just to clarify, it's difficult to have a manhunt when you don't know what the man you're looking for may be, or a woman, or a couple, or something. So that's the real challenge for law enforcement, as they are just desperately continuing to put out the plea. If you saw something funny there in Tucson Saturday night, or if you see it now, call the local police and get them that information. They're desperate for tips that could lead to a break in the case. You know, there was some reporting by News Nation that they had a video of some blood splatter on the front step of the home. Obviously, that's part of the evidence that would have been gathered and collected for analysis, but so we don't know what that means. They also said on News Nation that a front doorbell camera was missing and that there may have been several other cameras in the home that were damaged or destroyed, and not sure if there's any accessible information there.
Saw some reporting, Rory, that TMZ and the local CBS affiliate received a ransom note of sort. I don't know if those have been verified or not, but do we have any indication that this is a kidnapping ransom kind of situation?
Well, you're right. In terms of TMZ and that local affiliate did turn the notes over to the sheriff's office, which is now working with the FBI. So we don't know just how legit these are, and that's going to be part of the investigation. Is this some prankster in Indonesia, or is this real? That's what they're trying to figure out. They did verify that at least on the TMZ note, they were demanding payment via Bitcoin. TMZ did verify that at least the Bitcoin account address there is legitimate. So it's another part of this ongoing investigation. But having a Bitcoin account, that's going to be very hard for local authorities to trace.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show, updating the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. People disappear every day across the United States, Rory, but this one has seemingly captured Americans, emotional strings. You've covered a number of these stories over the years, kidnappings and missing people. Why do you think that this is resonating so strongly across the U.S.?
Well, look, most viewers have some sort of a relationship with Savannah Guthrie, right? Either tuning her in or purposely tuning her out. So they have some sort of an opinion there. And then the question is this abduction related to Savannah's high-profile job? And if it is, how scary it must be for everyone who's on TV at any day part or any movie or whatever it may be. And it shows the risks that are out there. So I think that it's also this idea that, oh boy, I hope your career choice didn't lead to this crime against your own mother, which seems like a line to cross. And, the Savannah Guthrie does have a security team. I know they've been working with the police and the FBI. We don't know. Maybe there had been threats against her in recent weeks and months and building up to this. Exactly why this mom was targeted is really an open question.
Finally, Rory, the Guthrie family says time is of the essence here. Apparently, Nancy Guthrie needs to take some sort of medication on a daily basis, and it's already been a couple of days out.
Right. We know she has some cardiac issues, right? She had a pacemaker that would sync to her iPhone or Apple Watch, and that hasn't syncing stopped early Sunday morning, probably because she got too far away from them, right? So that's an issue. We do know there are no cognitive issues, so it's not as if she just wandered off away from home as an 84-year-old. They say she's sharp as a tack, and it's an open question as to why she would have been abducted in the first place.
Yeah, story the whole country is watching. Rory, as always, appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, Mark.
I have a couple of questions here, Deborah. First off, you can never predict what story will catch fire with Americans. This certainly has. Don't you agree? I mean, the fact that
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what it is, and you can't predict what is going to latch on to the American conscience, but it has. What I want to know is, so she has a pacemaker, Nancy Guthrie, that's hooked up to her iPhone. Isn't that a traceable device then? If you can connect to Wi-Fi to your phone, I would think there should be some sort of way to trace her pacemaker, kind of like a chip in an animal or something like that. I don't know, but we'll continue to follow that. It's just a crazy story. Is it legitimately a ransom, or are these just scammers trying to get Bitcoin? But a crazy, crazy story. Yesterday in the show, we talked a lot about what President Trump said on the Dan Bongino podcast about the United States asking Republicans to take over federalized voting in 15 locations. Yesterday in the Oval Office, kind of doubling down on it.
Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at Pennsylvania. Take a look at Philadelphia. You go take a look at Atlanta. Look at some of the places that horrible corruption on elections. And the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
Covering the story from CBS News, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, Natalie Brand in the nation's capital. Natalie, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. Good to be with you on another busy week.
Exactly right. So we had those cuts from the Bongino podcast, and Caroline Leavitt kind of walked it back and said, no, he was talking about this act, and no one's going to federalize it. But there you heard President Trump say, no, he wants Republicans to take over these elections in 15 areas. What's been the reaction in D.C. to President Trump doubling down on that?
Yeah, well, as you noted, Leavitt and other Republicans were saying that he was referring or, claimed that he was in that podcast referring or calling on Congress to pass the SAVE or Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, which would tighten rules, including requiring citizenship documentation to register to vote. So that was kind of their messaging. Then when the president was asked again, what he meant by that, he did reference lawmakers behind him and said that, he wants elections to be honest. And if a state can't run an election, he said, lawmakers should do something about it. But then he went on to again talk about 2020, debunked claims of voter fraud, and said the federal government should get involved. So kind of some mixed messages. But at the end of the day, the Constitution, everyone who has been doing research and talking to, experts and lawyers, have made clear that the Constitution gives the primary authority to come up with election procedure, run elections to the states. The Constitution also says Congress has the ability to alter the rules, but not the president.
Natalie Brand from CBS News joining us live in D.C. here on the Mark Arum Show. From all I heard from election attorneys is, there is a mechanism, but it doesn't come from the president. This would have to be congressional. The Congress would have to make changes to what goes on election day.
Exactly. The Constitution leaves room for Congress to alter elections rules, but not the executive branch. The executive branch is not mentioned. So at the end of the day, that's why these Republicans are saying that, the president was talking about this GOP legislation, which has already passed the House, although it would have an enormous uphill battle in the Senate. And experts, attorneys have also pointed out that the president's past efforts, executive action that he signed last year to try to tighten rules around elections, has been challenged in court by states, and those states have won, with judges pointing this out, that the Constitution does not give the president of the United States the authority to make elections rules. And, Republicans on Capitol Hill, a number of them, when asked about this, defended the state's ability to run elections. But also, tried to say that, we should be talking about this SAVE Act in the Senate, in the upper chamber, again, where it would not have the votes needed to overcome a filibuster.
Natalie, what we assumed would be the big story yesterday in the White House was President Trump meeting with the president of Colombia. How did that go?
Yeah, well, the White House kind of said that it went quite positively. It was not open to the press, so that was notable. This was a private meeting between the two leaders who, as we know, have had quite an up and down relationship and have traded, verbal attacks over social media. But we know that one of the main goals of the meeting was to talk about countering narcotics. President Trump in the past has accused the Colombian president, Petro, of being what he called a drug lord. And Petro has also raised a lot of concern with the continued strikes on alleged drug boats, accusing one of killing a Colombian fisherman. So we'll have to, see if anything about that came out of it. But again, the White House says that the president went into this meeting with kind of a positive headspace after there was this phone call last month to really de-escalate tensions between the two, and that set the stage for this meeting.
Yeah, I think a lot of it boils down, even if they're diametrically opposed politically, if President Trump gets along with someone, that's usually a good sign. Like the mayor of New York, right? They are on different sides of the political spectrum, but when they met face to face, they got along, and it seemed like that warmed the relationship. So maybe that happened yesterday with the Colombian president. Natalie Brand, CBS News. Natalie, as always, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Another big story right now. Let's go live to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Border Czar Tom Homan holding a press conference. Let's dip in for a second.
85 cases have been already accepted for prosecutions. The rest remain pending. We've had 9 indictments of those who raided the church, and additional cases are being worked. Additionally, I've been saying this for almost a year now. Hateful, extreme rhetoric against ICE personnel is completely unacceptable. Please stop.
Tom Homan, Border Czar. We're going to continue to monitor this press conference. He said people impeding or harassing agents will be prosecuted. And he says the pullback of ICE and Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis depends on the cooperation they get in the community. So we're going to, I know the news team is monitoring this press conference. We'll get some audio from that. But this popping right now, Border Czar Tom Homan holding a press conference in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll come back, update our top local stories at 9:19 on the Mark Arum Show. We got to check the ride around town. Let's say hello and good morning to Stephanie Stallworth.
Hey, Mark, good morning to you. Got a travel advisory crash, 285, headed northbound near Covington Highway on your east side. 2 right lanes down, 2 left will get you by. Also finish up that wreck, 7585 northbound at Pine Street. Long-standing issue, residual slow going, coming up from Langford Parkway on the connector. And 20 west, you're starting back near Flat Shoals with a heavy volume to 280 to the downtown connector. Your update sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, Mega Millions just got an upgrade. Now with bigger jackpots, better odds to win, and a built-in multiplier on every ticket. Drawings every Tuesday and Friday. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
I just won $1,000 on WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
Are you serious?
95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
I've found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolfpen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolfpen Auto Repair.
Hey Atlanta, Patrick here, owner of Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Chocolates disappear, flowers fade, but an early spring cleaning is something your Valentine actually gets to enjoy. Only Zero Res cleans with our patented ZR water, electrolyzed water that's scientifically proven to clean without harsh chemicals, soaps, or detergents. No soap means no residue, and no residue means soft, fluffy carpets that stay cleaner longer. And it's completely safe for your family and pets. Don't just take my word for it. Zero Res has over 20,000 reviews with a 4.9 star rating. Now's a perfect time to reset your home, especially if keeping it clean is one of those New Year's resolutions. Sure, you could wait until spring, or you could get a head start with a true state-of-the-art clean. Right now, take 20% off Zero Res standard cleaning services when you mention WSB. That's 20% off just for mentioning WSB. Schedule easily online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
We are here with CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL every weekend right here. Get more at retireatlradio.com. And Aaron, there are some adults that work with the big box firms, and they think to themselves, I feel like some of my needs aren't being met, or there are opportunities that they could be missing. So what would you tell that person that's thinking about getting that second opinion, thinking about making the call, but they just haven't yet?
Mark, what I would say to that person who thought about it or wanted to last year but didn't is why? Why didn't you? Let's get real here. Whether you're in your car driving or you're at your office, however you're listening to this, take a second or write this down or make a mental note. Why didn't you execute on that thought? That thought that you had, that feeling that you had about getting a second opinion, you didn't follow up with that. What's the reason? A lot of times we find people are intimidated by, I don't want to be transparent. I feel like if I admit where I'm at, I'm admitting failure or something along those lines. And let me just make the bridge to you right now. We aren't going to judge you if you wish you were at X, but you're only at Y. There's no shame in saying, I'm not where I want to be and I want to get there. That should be applauded. If anything, you're going to get applause from us because it's like the human condition, right? Life on earth, to raise your hand and say, I need some help. I'd like to get this thing shored up and I'm willing to tell you the truth about where I'm at to get there. That takes courage. It takes some guts. I respect that regardless of where you are, to say I'm willing to open myself up to that sort of conversation. That should be applauded.
To receive a personalized second opinion of your financial future from the team at the Vincent Financial Group, we invite you to call today, 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com. And join us for Retire ATL every weekend right here. And it's all powered by the Vincent Financial Group.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh no, not now.
What's wrong?
Unit B on our duplex. The water heater just gave out. I have to go.
It's your daughter's cake.
I know, but if I don't fix it, I'll lose the tenant.
It's the small investor trap. You have enough properties to be busy, but not enough to feel like you can afford a manager. Think again. For $115 a month, Renters Warehouse Atlanta becomes your full-time automated staff. We handle the 2 a.m. leaks, the tenant screenings, and the maintenance coordination with our brand new high-tech tracking system. Better ROI, better tenant placement, total freedom. Visit rwatlanta.com today for your free home rental price analysis or call 404-662-2322. Renters Warehouse Atlanta. Efficiency is key.
When it comes to repairing crawl space issues, it's not one size fits all. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions knows that. Their experts will recommend a solution tailored to your home. Simply book an appointment online at aquaguard.net. Remember the name.
AquaGuard. Desperado. Why don't you come?
924 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 64th birthday, Clint Black, doing a cover of the Eagles' Desperado. I think a lot of Americans that didn't grow up with the Eagles discovered this song during Seinfeld when Elaine was dating that guy. And anytime that song came on, he was like, shh, shh, shh. And he'd go into desperate. Anyway, happy 64th birthday, Clint Black. All right, Tom Homan still doing this press conference live. He, of course, the border czar. Headline just popped. He said 700 personnel will be removed immediately from Minneapolis. So that is a fairly sizable pullback. But again, Holman said he is not leaving till the job is done. But removing 700 Border Patrol or ICE agents is that's a big drawback. So we'll continue to monitor the Tom Homan press conference. I just realized, I think I've come up, Deborah, with a new economic indicator. So,
Okay.
All right. So we have all these economic
We
indicators.
talked about the dancers the other day.
So I went, yes, exactly. So I went to Chick-fil-A after the show for lunch yesterday. Got my standard chicken sandwich combo, hold the pickles, give me American cheese on it. And what I've realized I've been doing subconsciously is in these tough economic times where everything costs so much, I paid with my Chick-fil-A points on the app yesterday. And now I'm down to like 150 points, which you can't even get a little sauce thing for 100. I've been flying through them. I've been using up all my points on wherever I have points, Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A. I think that's a great economic indicator. You know, are people, because I used to take pride in, oh, look how many Chick-fil-A points I have. And now I'm like, I don't even care. Like, give me
They're there to be used, right? Yeah.
But I think that might be a good economic indicator. Does Whataburger have points?
I'm using them right now.
So all right.
Yeah, I try to
Well,
rack
do you
them up.
Do you normally hold on to them?
No, I use them
as you get
well,
them?
I try to get enough to like maybe get a meal.
Okay.
Like instead of like, oh, just a small fry here, a small fry there.
But I've been saved, like Dunkin' Donuts. I've got 34,000 points or whatever, and now that they're expiring at the end of the month, like a certain point expires but maybe that's an economic indicator. Anyway, Chick-fil-A, new sandwiches, but maybe not yet in Metro Atlanta.
So they're testing them out in North Carolina and, I don't have the other city right now, but it's the avocado sriracha BLT sandwich, and they're also testing a sweet chili lime crunch sandwich. So the sriracha one is going to be featured on what they call sriracha swirl toast. So, like cinnamon toast with its swirl.
Yeah.
Instead of that, it's going to be sriracha grilled into the bread. So I don't know if that's a little too spicy for you.
I like sriracha.
I know you don't really like spicy, though.
Yeah.
So
I can handle sriracha.
Chicken filet topped with lettuce, tomatoes, bacon,
Where
and
are they
avocado
available right
mash.
now if I want to go get one?
North Carolina and where's the other city? Tennessee.
All right, not
too
bad.
far.
Yeah, we can do a road trip. Thank you, Deborah. All right, Tom Homan continues his press conference in Minneapolis. We'll monitor that. When we come back after news, weather, and traffic, are there going to be talks between the United States and Iran? We go to Jerusalem next on the Mark Arum Show.
Happy 30th anniversary to the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air. This is Scott Slade. 3 decades keeping families like mine comfortable. And you can stay comfortable this winter with the Ragsdale Free Furnace February offer. When you purchase the new Carrier home comfort system, you'll receive the new furnace for free. And that'll include Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. 11,000 reviews with a 4.9 Google rating mean you can trust Ragsdale for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too. Online at ragsdaleair.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
Life is a circle. At Emory Healthcare, this circle contains the first breakthroughs that bend fear toward hope, echoes that become second chances, love regained, tomorrow reclaimed. Emory is driven by firsts because second chances matter to keep life's circle moving forward. Emory Healthcare, the front line of care, the forefront of discovery. Visit emoryhealthcare.org/discover.
Cold temps can freeze water in the ground, wreaking havoc on your septic system. Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Scorpion Septic. We can help. My licensed, insured, experienced team responds 24/7 with upfront pricing and high-quality work.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump-out charge with your repair. Details online, scorpionsepticservices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers with my dad Mike, and this Valentine's Day at D. Geller & Son, when you spend just $199 or more, we're including a free diamond necklace.
What? Wait, what?
Only at D. Geller & Son, Atlanta's Valentine's destination since 1939.
Where are you getting these ideas?
In Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D.
Geller and Son. Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. Our top story this half hour. It's new this morning in Minneapolis, where U.S. Borders Czar Tom Homan announcing a major withdrawal from the city, which has seen a surge in ICE agents this year, leading to intense protests. He says about 700 personnel will be leaving the city.
My goal with the support of President Trump is to achieve a complete drawdown and end this surge as soon as we can. But that is largely contingent upon the end of the illegal and threatening activities against ICE.
Homan continuing to speak this hour at the press conference. The demonstrations in Minneapolis have been intense and violent at times, including a pair of fatal shootings of protesters. Now, it comes as Congress works on a new budget for Homeland Security. Democrats are demanding changes to ICE procedures, including unmasking agents, requiring body cameras, and ending the targeting of soft targets like schools and churches. It is 51 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says get a bit cooler today. The high only getting into the lower 50s under cloudy skies as we dry out from the overnight rain. We may not even hit 50 degrees tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Well, we're hearing this morning from environmental protection officials as the cleanup effort continues at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport following a jet fuel spill.
Best we can understand, there was a sight valve that had failed, and it was jet fuel releasing into the stormwater system that got into the Flint River.
Yeah, Georgia Environmental Protection Division Director Jeff Cowan says about 10,000 gallons of fuel spilled into the nearby river. He says they collected several thousand gallons of spilled fuel from initial cleanup efforts. The water has been deemed safe, but residents nearby complain there is still an odor and an oily residue in that water. Speaking of airports, new lights are being installed to help planes landing near Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Henry County Commissioners approve a medium-intensity approach lighting system with runway alignment indicator lights. Lighting system will include steady-burning light bars and sequenced flashing lights to guide pilots during their approach, improving visibility and enhancing safety during low-visibility conditions. The cost of the lights is $116,000. Some money will come from a state grant reimbursement, with a local match paid for through the SPLOST Airport Improvements Project. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
And the big question, where do you like to go grocery shopping? A new survey ranks the most popular destinations all around the country.
Maybe it's the viral mini totes. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index, Trader Joe's has surpassed Publix as number one for the second year in a row with 86 points. Publix scores 84.
Let the debate begin. Deborah Rodriguez reports Texas-based HEB ranks third in the survey that involved 30,000 shoppers. Costco and Target round out the top 5. It is 9:33 as we check your money this morning. Mixed bag on Wall Street. Boy, Dow opening well up, almost 300 points right now. The S&P is down slightly. The NASDAQ is down about a half percentage point, about 110 points at the moment, and that continues to drop right now. Now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center, and Stephanie Stallworth.
Hey, Judd, still working the travel advisory at 285 headed northbound over by the Covington Highway. 2 right lanes down, 2 left will get you by. If you get on at Covington Highway, you're getting on beyond the crash scene. Also finish up that wreck 7585 north at Pine Street. Got another one 75 south at Northside. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, drizzly, and breezy at times today with highs around 52, lows tonight in the low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, staying breezy and chilly with highs in the low 40s, but a warm up on the way Friday. Mostly sunny skies, high around 55.
It is currently 48 degrees right now in Cartersville, 49 in Loganville, up to 51 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
He's asking you questions.
Hey, you know what? What's eating you up?
He's asking more questions.
What are you, empty? Soulless?
And he's offering nutritional advice.
Pica, I think, is the thing where you eat like...
Oh, yeah, chalk and...
ashes,
clay.
Eric Von Hassler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Yeah, Bill Gates tried to explain why he's in the Epstein files. Still to come, more fallout from the Epstein file release. Next, though, we go to Jerusalem, checking on the talks between the U.S. and Iran. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Looking out your window and see a different name? Don't worry, we're still the same.
It's Ted and Jonathan. North Georgia Replacement Windows is now NG Windows. It's a positive change because the only thing changing is our name. We've been the local owners for over 20 years and plan to keep it that way.
NG Windows. Shorter name, still committed to serving you Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah!
At All Care Georgia, we recognize that maintaining a healthy weight isn't just about how you look. It's also about feeling good and improving overall health. That's why our physicians and weight loss specialists offer comprehensive weight management plans customized for you. At All Care, we can assist with lifestyle modifications, provide nutritional counseling, and, if clinically appropriate, prescribe weight loss medications like GLP-1s as part of a medically supervised program. Learn more at allcare-ga/weight.
Elevate your sleep experience with an adjustable bed and make everyday activities like reading, watching TV, and working in bed more comfortable. At the Original Mattress Factory, we know not all adjustable beds are created equal. You want one that has the features you actually need, like anti-snore and zero-gravity positions. We offer high-quality adjustable bases paired with a hand-built mattress, all at a factory direct value. And we have product in stock and ready when you are. Visit an OMF location to elevate your sleep experience today.
So our dingy white ceilings are now sparkling white, thanks to my friends at CertaPro Painters. It's Ashley Frasca. They're great at what they do, plus their communication and professionalism put me completely at ease, and our Great Dane Mia made some new friends. They did all the detailed tasks that other painters may overlook. Don't go it alone. Choose happy like I did. Choose CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com, and that's Certa with a C. Each local CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Taking it back to 1998, this is Torn from Australian singer Natalie Imbruglia, turning 51 years old today. This is a great song. Did she ever follow up with anything big, Deborah?
Probably not as big as this, but she was a little bit bigger in Australia than she is here.
Sure. We're all bigger in Australia. Speaking of musicians, Deborah's got a pair of tickets to see Paul Simon at Chastain. What a marvelous concert. We'll be giving those tickets away right after the new news. Right after the 11 a.m. news. So around 11:07, chance to win Paul Simon tickets. Coming up after the 10 o'clock news, around 10:12 a.m., I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance to get $1,000 just for listening to the Mark Arum Show here on 95.5 WSB. Tom Holman, I believe, just wrapped up his press conference in Minneapolis. We'll try to garner some audio for you there. Holman, the big headline that I've seen thus far is that they're going to pull out 700 federal agents right now out of Minneapolis. I guess things are dying down there, but we'll get some more audio from the border czar and play it for you just a little bit here on the Mark Arum Show. Right now, let's go to Jerusalem. ABC's Jordana Miller. Jordana, the possible talks between the U.S. and Iran has been a pretty fluid situation. Where do things stand this Wednesday morning?
Well, Steve Witkoff, the president's envoy, who will be conducting what we think will be those direct negotiations with Iran at the end of the week on Friday, originally scheduled in Turkey. It looks like they're likely to move to Oman. And they were supposed to be multilateral talks with other regional leaders from Saudi Arabia and the Emirates, but it looks like perhaps the Iranians want to just keep it to a bilateral talk with the United States. But again, it's unclear how effective these talks are going to be. Steve Witkoff was here in Jerusalem yesterday on Tuesday, and he met for several hours with the Israeli Prime Minister, the head of the Israeli Army, and really all of Israel's top defense officials from military intelligence, from the Air Force, also the defense minister, and they discussed the situation unfolding right in this kind of conflict with Iran that so far has included a lot of threats of war, but also this potential for a diplomatic solution. I can't say that the Israelis are very optimistic about the diplomatic route. They do not believe that Iran can be trusted to come through with anything, and they've always accused the Iranians of buying time, and then even when they sign deals, of secretly continuing their nuclear program. The question is, what does the president, want, and will he get it? We do understand the terms of the demands that President Trump's team is going to put on the table before the Iranians is pretty stark and tough terms, right? No nuclear enrichment on Iranian soil, moving those 400 kilograms of enriched nuclear material out of Iran, and possibly also demanding limits on their ballistic missiles capabilities and development, as well as stopping their support of proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah. Will Iran be able to agree to all of that, or will the sides strike some kind of intermediary deal that covers some of it with an agreement to talk about other things later, what would de-escalate and provide a kind of off-ramp for both the United States and Iran? I think it's still far from clear, which direction we're actually headed in.
Jordana, what was the story behind that Iranian drone that was shot down approaching the USS Abraham Lincoln?
Well, it appears that the Iranians were trying to test the capability and preparedness of the USS Lincoln, the strike carrier, and frankly, U.S. assets that are in the Persian Gulf, right, and in the waters here, to see how quickly they would respond. It looks like that was a reconnaissance drone that was trying to pick up information about the USS strike carrier. I think, here in Israel, the first word that I think came to a lot of people was chutzpah, right? Like
yes.
A lot of nerve to try to test America's military readiness at a very sensitive moment when you're about to go into talks with them. The Israelis weren't surprised, but I think a lot of other people were.
Final question for you, Jordana. In Iran, we had the weeks of the deadly protests. Have they ceased? What's going on ground level in Tehran and throughout Iran right now?
For the most part, the protests have stopped, and that's only because the regime, with its brutality, was able to create so much fear by killing thousands of people in a very short period of time, right? The estimates are now that between, January 8th and January 9th, of those 2 nights, that somewhere between 20 and 30,000 people were killed. So I think there's still a lot of fear on the streets and a lot of anger. But some people there still have not lost hope. They still think that the United States is going to come to their rescue in one way or another. They're not giving in to despondency, not yet.
Jordana Miller, ABC News in Jerusalem. Jordana, as always, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mark. Talk soon.
I'm curious to why they're moving the talks. They were scheduled for Turkey, but now they're moving to Doha. In the meantime, we have a huge military force now in the region, the USS Abraham leading that up. Obviously, a massive international story. Another big story is what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. So President Trump had gotten a promise from Vladimir Putin for a 7-day ceasefire. It was broken recently before the 7 days up. The largest attack this year by Russia against Ukraine, really focused on the electrical grid. We've been really cold here, Deborah, but apparently it's been like minus 20 in Ukraine, like freezing, like Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Like back home.
Yeah, back home. So apparently Russia now is attacking the electrical grid in Ukraine to kind of freeze them out. Frederick Plykin is in Moscow. Frederick, what are you learning?
One of the things that the Ukrainians said after that massive attack that you were just talking about is that they're going to change their approach to these negotiations. They, of course, still want a just and lasting peace, as they put it, but at the same time, of course, skeptical of some of the things that the Russians are saying. Now, we know that these talks are now underway there in the United Arab Emirates. One of the things that we heard before the talks is that apparently they're going to start once again by trying to speak about all the problems in a venue basically containing all the people who are taking part in these talks, but then break into working groups to try and work on compartmentalizing some of the problems that are at hand. Of course, one of the ones that we've been talking about a lot, and that both sides have been talking about a lot, is the talk of territorial concessions, of territories, as to which territories the Ukrainians might have to cede as far as any peace agreement is concerned. Of course, one of the things we know that the Russians want is the rest of the Donbas region, especially the Donetsk Oblast in the east of Ukraine. And the question is, what are the Russians willing to give back if that's something that can be achieved? Other things include security guarantees for Ukraine, what can happen in that matter, the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, which is, of course, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in Europe, and some other matters as well. What we heard recently from some of the talks is apparently that the atmosphere is not actually that bad. There was, of course, more talks leading up to what's going on in the United Arab Emirates today, like, for instance, Kirill Dmitriev, the main negotiator for the Russians, heading to Miami to speak with Steve Witkoff, the special envoy of President Trump. So all of that, the U.S. hopes will culminate in the not-too-distant future. However, it does seem as though both sides still pretty far apart, especially as far as the territorial question is concerned. We just heard from the Kremlin actually a couple of minutes ago before we went on air, the spokesman for Vladimir Putin, Dmitry Peskov, they're saying that the Russians are going to continue what they call their special military operation, which of course includes pounding Ukraine's energy infrastructure until an agreement is reached.
Frederick Pleiken this morning in Russia. Again, two big international stories. We haven't talked about Greenland in a while, Deborah. That's pretty nice that we've gotten that onto the back burner.
Shiny object over here.
Yeah. So talks between Russia, Ukraine, U.S., and talks between the United States and Iran. Was able to get a couple of audio clips from Border Czar Tom Homan, wrapped up his press conference in Minneapolis this morning. This seems to be the biggest takeaway.
We'll draw down 700 people effective today.
So 700 federal officers leaving Minneapolis, Minnesota, more from the Border Czar.
Any large enforcement operation I've ever been involved with, there's one chain of command, and that's where we're moving forward.
And was asked about the necessity possibly of body cams on these agents.
The president's supportive of this decision because we have nothing to hide. We want to be fully transparent in what we do.
All right, so breaking developments there. 700 federal agents are leaving Minneapolis today, and Tom Homan says the president is all for those body cams. So a couple of big headlines out of the Border Czar's press conference. This is a crazy story. I don't even know where to begin with this story. This is nuts. Jill Biden's first husband. First of all, I didn't know she was married previous. Did you know that, Deborah? I knew Biden was married.
I did know that, yes.
I knew Joe was, and then his wife was killed in a car crash, or was that? Yeah.
Yeah, with like the
son. Yeah. Anyway, Jill Biden's first husband charged with murdering his second wife. Authorities in Delaware announced the first-degree murder charge against William Stevenson on Tuesday. He and the former First Lady divorced more than 50 years ago, so this is a long-time thing. Biden family's not commented on the case. CBS News correspondent Jerika Duncan has more.
After a month-long investigation, police arrested 77-year-old William Stevenson, the ex-husband of former First Lady Jill Biden. Stevenson is charged with murdering his 64-year-old second wife, Linda, in their home. According to a statement from Newcastle County Police, officers were called to the residence on December 28th after a reported domestic dispute. In the living room, they found Linda's unresponsive body. She was later pronounced dead. A cause of death has not been released.
So the Bidens haven't commented. I don't know if they will or won't. I mean, you divorced 50 years ago. But in her autobiography, I saw Jill Biden mentions her first marriage and saying, you know, we were swept up in a moment. It was great until it wasn't great anymore. I'm paraphrasing, but she at least mentioned her first husband in her autobiography. That's nuts. When I see a Biden story like that, I was like, oh, Hunter's in the news again. No. Biden's first husband, William Stevenson. There you go. Now you know. 9:48 on the Mark Arum Show. When we come back, we're going to update our top local stories. Right now, though, got to check the ride around town on this kind of soggy Wednesday morning. Any current hotspots, Stephanie Stallworth?
You're still hotspot out on the east side there, Mark. If you're traveling 285 northbound, right at Covington Highway, 2 right lanes still down, still travel advisory for you. Delays beginning back near Flat Shoals. Some folks are trying Moreland Avenue as the option. Now, if you get on the 285 at Covington Highway, you get on just beyond this crash scene. So a little bit of good news if you're up working your way up through that area. This update brought to you by Intuit TurboTax Expert Assist. TurboTax is redefining tax season with the opening of expert stores and offices nationwide, merging cutting-edge AI with local expertise for a stress-free experience. Find your local tax expert at TurboTax.com. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Get over it. He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Because he's a man and he can get things done.
Yes. Eric Von Hessler.
This is something that the feminist will not deal with.
Today at 3.
Yeah, I know. You don't care about anything. What do you care about? What is it that you care about?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Scott Slade, and I've depended on the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air for many years, keeping my family comfortable no matter what kind of wild swings Atlanta weather may bring. Thanks to Ragsdale, I didn't worry 1 minute about my systems working fine during a recent Arctic blast. And especially now with cold weather keeping us indoors more, Ragsdale wants to make sure you stay comfortable with the Ragsdale Free Furnace February offer. When you purchase a new Carrier home comfort system, you'll receive the new furnace for free. And you not only save now, but you're covered for the next 15 years with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. They've been taking great care of their customers for 3 decades now. Many of their employees have been with them for 10, 20, even 30 years. No wonder they have over 11,000 reviews and a 4.9 Google rating. Ragsdale's the name I know you can trust to take care of your plumbing, electrical, and insulation jobs, too. It's easy to schedule your visit online at ragsdaleair.com or give one of their friendly customer service reps a call. Take advantage now of free Furnace February with Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, it's a brand new year, and that means it's a great time to get organized and get your financial house in order. So if that's one of your New Year's resolutions, Hoffman Financial Group is here to help with that, aren't we?
Yeah, so we make it simple, right? And it goes back to saving people time. Don't worry about you having to work with us. We work for you. So if you were to reach out to us, we would start with something as simple as the portfolio x-ray. Simple as far as your time that you need to provide us some data points on, but we'll take the hours and we'll apply our expertise to generate a pretty comprehensive look at your financial life. Specifically, your risk profile, the fees in your portfolio, the performance over last year, 3 years, 5 years, the last 10 years against benchmarks. We'll also stress test it. Can we go back in time and say what would have happened to your portfolio during the Great Recession or the dot-com bubble that burst or the COVID correction? It'll give you an indication of how much your money is at risk. All of those components mixed into one simple 10 to 14 page report. We'll give you a copy of it. We'll walk you through it. And as I say, I have yet to see one that didn't have 2 or 3 golden nuggets, as I call them, of opportunity for you to contemplate possibly enhancing your financial future moving forward.
Get 2026 started on the right foot with this complimentary offer from Hoffman Financial Group. There's no cost for the portfolio x-ray, and the report is yours to keep. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
It all begins with a solid foundation, and that includes your home. So if your foundation needs repair, insist on the highest quality in the industry.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham, owner of Atlanta Ramjack, an independent organization certified that Ramjack repair products outperform the rest. We often have to remove and fix our competitors' work.
Only Ramjack offers a fully transferable life of the structure warranty. Google Atlanta Ramjack for your free estimate.
Ramjack. This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
9:53 on the Mark Arum Show. Man, so many musical birthdays today. Alice Cooper turned 78 years old. School's out for summer. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Still to come, we've got a new ranking of Americans' favorite grocery stores. I'm not going to tell you who's number one, but I'll tell you that Walmart is number 3, which I thought was kind of interesting. I used to, the Walmart in Howell Mill before they shuttered it, I used to go to the deli there and pick up some stuff. Walmart, by the way, has just passed a critical milestone, Deborah.
Walmart, the first retailer ever to cross that $1 trillion in the market. Basically, everyone else in that area is tech-based, so they're the first retailer to do
$1 trillion market cap,
Yep.
Which means that they're a $1 trillion company. I went down a rabbit hole a couple of weeks ago about the history of Walmart. And Sam Walton, right, that's the guy. He opened one store in his hometown, I guess. He borrowed $25,000 from his father-in-law or something, opened one store, made it, and just cut the prices on everything. Like, it was his local store that was kind of dying, so he bought it and turned it into like a really successful store. And then 3 years later, the owner of the building kicked him out, didn't renew his lease, and gave that storefront to the landlord's son. He's like, here. So Walton was not deterred, went and opened another store, and obviously you know the rest of it. But Vinny, you buy, I'm going to assume Vinny buys deodorant. Longoria, you buy deodorant. Vinny might not remember that deodorant used to come in boxes. Like, if you go to Walmart now or Target, it's just the plastic container.
Right. Yeah, I don't know nothing about the box.
Yeah, you've never bought a deodorant in a box. Mm-hmm. I'm old enough to remember deodorant in a box. This is an interesting story about what Walmart did when it came to deodorant.
You see, back in the day, all deodorants came in these cardboard boxes that were meant to protect them during shipping and all that, right? So a customer would buy the deodorant, open up the packaging, throw the box away. It was a waste. Each box that the deodorant came in cost 5 cents to make. It made the deodorant shipping containers heavier, costing Walmart and the manufacturer more money. Plus, when we put it on the shelf, it's taking up a lot more space. So Walmart thought, if we get rid of the box, okay, we can put the deodorant just on display, no box or anything. We could sell them quicker. There's no waste. Plus, the customer and the company can save a couple of cents. At this time, Walmart's really profitable and powerful. If they tell you drop the box, you're going to drop the box. Even if these manufacturers wanted to say no to Walmart, they couldn't. Walmart was their biggest buyer, and you did what they said.
That's crazy to me. I mean, it makes sense now. Like, why did you need your deodorant in a box? You're too young to remember that?
I don't remember buying it in a box. It was always in that plastic container with the little safety thing on the top.
They used to be, but it makes sense. Like, why spend 5 cents doing the cardboard around the deodorant? It costs more to ship. It's bulkier to ship. That's the power of Walmart. That you can't even. I don't even think you could buy a single deodorant that's in a box now.
I'm trying to think of. I might have been right on that. The cusp of not. I kind of remember it, but I kind of don't.
Your mom remembers.
Yeah.
Secret.
I wasn't wearing deodorant at 10.
No, I bet Mama Longoria was wearing Secret. Strong enough for a man, made for a woman. Yeah. I could see but I mean, I went down this rabbit hole on Walmart. It's a fascinating story. Fascinating story. And the whole Walmart family, now that the company's worth $1 trillion, you don't really hear from them. They just, they're like, we got $15 billion each. We're just going to chill. We're not
coming by your baseball cards. Leave us alone.
We're not going to Epstein Island. We're not getting political. We're just going to, enjoy our deodorant money. $1 trillion market cap. All right, news, weather, and traffic in less than 3. When we come back, we're going to continue to update President Trump doubling down on federal takeover of elections, what Eric Erickson had to say, and giving away $1,000 in the 5K day bonus splits. All next.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
I am more and more mindful that to take care of my family, I've got to take care of myself. And thanks to the Georgia Spa Company, well, they believe in wellness and that it can fit into your life. And right now, they want you to know warm water helps your body slow down, your muscles can relax, the tension can fade away. That's why I love my hot tub in the backyard. And they can help you find the right hot tub or sauna for lasting comfort, stress relief, and recovery. Visit Georgia Spa Company, one of 9 Georgia locations, and online at georgiaspacompany.com.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere live to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We do have breaking news this morning. This just in. Fulton County now asking a judge to force the FBI to return ballots and other 2020 election documents seized in that search last week. Joining us live and covering the story, WSB's Jonathan O'Brien.
That's right, Sabrina, and I just spoke one-on-one with Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts. He says this is about the Constitution and ensuring that this kind of thing, which has happened here in Fulton County, which again, he feels the county is being targeted. He does not want that to happen in any other community. So the county has filed this lawsuit. They want the return of all of the ballots and documents that were seized in that FBI raid 1 week ago today. In fact, he also wants the full unsealing of the full warrant in this case. A lot of details still unknown because that warrant remains under seal. Now, he had to head down to a Board of Commissioners meeting where I'm told there will be a proclamation in support of election workers in Fulton County. Chairman Pitts hoping to boost the morale of election workers here in the county. But obviously, Sabrina, this is an ever-evolving story. Reporting live in Fulton County, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate you joining us here. The rain today is going to be ending by the afternoon. Then we'll have cloud cover, trending a little bit cooler. Highs around 52 this afternoon, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cobb County police officers among 2 people injured in a car crash on I-20 that caused hours-long traffic delays.
Cobb police say Officer A. Menard was parked in a marked police car with emergency lights on while assisting at the scene of an unrelated traffic crash on I-20 East near Riverside Parkway. Police say 23-year-old Kennedy Scott of Indianapolis failed to observe the move-over law, rear-ending the police car. The police car hit a concrete wall while the Prius went off the road and down an embankment. Officer Menard suffered minor injuries. Scott is hospitalized with serious injuries. Cobb police say it's a reminder that drivers need to move over when they see flashing lights. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, a frantic search underway for Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother. She was reported missing in Arizona Sunday. Trevor Alt reporting this morning police are now trying to determine if alleged ransom notes are real.
Despite hundreds of tips, investigators still have no idea who took her or how many suspects could be involved.
Sheriff, is there any indication so far as to whether this was a random abduction or targeted?
We're looking at all the leads, and we don't know. We're going to assume both sides of that.
ABC affiliate K-Gun says they received one of several possible ransom notes sent, which they forwarded to law enforcement. Officials are investigating if any of these letters are legitimate, stressing they take all leads very seriously.
And there is increased concern since she needs daily life-saving medication. Keep it here. We'll continue to follow this story. A recent spill of jet fuel into the Flint River has now raised concerns for members of a State House Environmental Subcommittee.
An estimated 10,000 gallons of jet fuel from Hartsville-Jackson poured into the Flint River, causing concern for downstream users. Though the water has now been deemed safe, Representative Robert Dickey posed this question.
The jet fuel spill endangering our communities downstream. Is the airport in compliance?
EPD Director Jeff Cowan replied, saying it appears to have been a failed valve.
The investigation is still going on. I'm not sure there was a compliance issue there. I don't believe so.
A smaller spill at the airport in 2021 resulted in a $40,000 fine. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Bahama Breeze shutting down all restaurant locations all across the nation. That includes 2 restaurants here in Metro Atlanta. It will convert some Bahama Breeze locations to other restaurants, including the Bahama Breeze location on Barrett Parkway in Kennesaw. Its Duluth restaurant is also on the list to be closed and is expected to continue operating through April 5th. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is in positive territory, but only slightly. NASDAQ is down almost a full percent, and the S&P is down almost 0.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We go live to the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, Sabrina, good morning to you. Got some big trouble for you out there on the east side. Traffic Trooper Tim confirmed that vehicle fire DeKalb County 285 northbound at I-20. Had all lanes shut down temporarily, now getting by in the right travel lanes. Crash up ahead, been talking about it at Covington Highway 285 northbound. 2 right lanes are blocked for you there. Kind of want to avoid that side of the perimeter for now. Take 7585 downtown connector northbound as your wide workaround. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies through the afternoon, breezy with a high around 52. Clear and cold tonight, lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy at times, highs in the low 40s. Warming up on Friday with sunny skies, highs in the mid 50s.
It is 50 degrees right now in Marietta and here in Atlanta. Duluth, you have 49 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole family with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Down south, Vinny screens your calls. In case you are wondering what the AI caricatures of the cast look like, it's up on my Instagram page at Mark Arum. The people want Deborah's caricature, so please send it to me.
It's on my gram.
But I didn't post it on mine.
That's okay. They can find it. So
I'm
it's
like,
out there.
all right, well, I'll post it. But it's great job on that, Deborah. By the way, coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Another chance to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB. Big political news yesterday. A new Republican candidate in the governor's race. Political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to join us live in studio at 10:35. Break down that announcement and the impact it could have on the race for the governor's mansion. Right now, though, I want to continue our team coverage of President Trump on that Dan Bongino podcast, saying that he wants Republicans to federalize the elections in at least 15 areas, and he doubled down on it yesterday in the White House.
Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at Pennsylvania. Take a look at Philadelphia. You go take a look at Atlanta. Look at some of the places that horrible corruption on elections. And the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
That was President Trump yesterday in the Oval Office. Earlier in the day, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, kind of walked back the president's comments, said, no, that's not exactly what he meant. But then he doubled down. Kevin Liptak at the White House this morning.
Yeah, and it is just so striking to hear the president kind of redouble these calls to nationalize elections, particularly because a few hours beforehand, the White House had tried walking it back, and many Republicans said that they didn't agree with the president on this idea, in no small part because the Constitution says that states administer elections, that they're governed, by local municipalities. Remember, President Trump first raised this in a podcast interview with Dan Bongino. He said that, quote, Republicans ought to nationalize the voting. He called for Republican officials to, quote, take over voting procedures in 15 states, although he didn't name them. When Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, was asked about that yesterday before the president appeared in the Oval Office, she said that he had actually been talking about this pending legislation on Capitol Hill that would require people to produce photo IDs before they registered to vote. Listen to what Caroline Leavitt said.
What does President Trump mean when he says Republicans ought to nationalize voting? What does that look like in practice?
What the president was referring to is the SAVE Act, which is a huge common sense piece of legislation that Republicans have supported, that President Trump is committed to signing into law during his term. And he spoke with the speaker directly about that yesterday, about the need to get that bill on the floor for a vote, because it provides very common sense measures for voting in our country, such as voter ID.
Now, President Trump actually made no mention of the SAVE Act, either in that podcast interview or in the Oval Office a few hours later. Instead, he said, quote, I want to see elections be honest, and if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it, referring to the members of Congress who are joining him there in the Oval Office. All of this seems to point to a broader effort by the president to sow distrust in elections, of course, months before the midterms in November. All of it, of course, undergirded by his unsubstantiated claims that elections are rigged.
Kevin Liptak at the White House this morning. So last night, Deborah, I'm doing show prep, and I'm like, all right, we were going to have to talk about this. The president said some things yesterday. I'm like, I wonder what Eric Erickson thinks about this. I'm like, maybe I'll text Eric to see if I can come on. And then bing, bang, boom, who pops up on CNN last night? Eric Erickson himself was on with Anderson Cooper.
You heard the president doubling down on the calls to nationalize elections, which is unconstitutional. Should Americans take that opinion, threat, those comments seriously? Where do you think this is heading?
Well, yes and no. I was an elections lawyer in Georgia in a former life, and the second part of Article 1, Section 4, after saying the states set the laws for elections, is Congress can essentially preempt those laws and pass its own, which the SAVE Act does, but only for voter ID. It's not helpful of the president to have say he wants a federal takeover of elections, whether he means the SAVE Act or not. I'm not sure he knows all it is voter ID. Congress could actually, if it wanted to, preempt the states, because to a degree, the states are agents of the federal government in carrying out national elections, not local elections. In fact, you can have a set of rules for federal elections and be different from state elections. But the president doesn't seem to understand what the SAVE Act is in this case. It's not a takeover by the federal government, and Congress has never shown a desire to take over state elections, so he can't do it. Maybe he thinks he can, but he can't.
Do you think, does the administration's explanation earlier in the day of the president's comments make sense to you, that this was what he's really talking about is voter ID? Because
I'm willing to criticize him, but I do actually think that that's what he's talking about, is imposing federal requirements on the states. Right now, every state has a different voter ID requirement, and Republicans...
But if that was true, why 15 states?
Yeah, because those are the 15 states that don't have voter ID, and in fact, in some cases have same-day voter registration, which the president doesn't like. Ironically, he did win a couple of those states.
The White House said that President Trump tapped the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, to oversee domestic election security while describing her unusual involvement in that FBI search of a Fulton County election office last week. Does her role in that make sense to you?
Only to the extent she's trying to get back in the president's good graces. She's been Gabbarded by the president. I mean, Waldo's easier to find than Tulsi Gabbard these days, particularly if there's a national security meeting. So she's trying to make herself relevant, and he's given her something where she can try to be relevant. Otherwise,
you think that's why she showed up?
Yeah, I mean, it also shows how the Director of National Intelligence is an impotent job, which is why John Ratcliffe didn't want it. He wanted to be the CIA director, where there's real power. It's a almost figurehead position, and she's trying to figure out a way to use it to get back in good graces. They shut her out of the Venezuela conversations, the Syria conversations. They deny it, but everybody knows it's true. So go down to Georgia and do a dog and pony show to get the president's attention.
You heard the president tease that something, quote, interesting was going to come out of Georgia. Do you have any sense of what that means?
No one in Georgia knows. The Republicans and Democrats alike have no idea what they're talking about. You know, when the president was indicted by Jack Smith, he claimed that if you dig deep enough and broad enough, you'll eventually find something to indict someone with. A good DA can indict a ham sandwich. I guess if they dig long enough, they can find something they think shows a question about the election. The problem is there are always questions about elections. No election is perfect because people run them and people aren't perfect. But they've completely missed overturning the election. This is just score settling with Democrats.
Eric Erickson, it's good to have you on, Eric. Thank you so much.
Eric Erickson last night with Anderson Cooper. I get a kick out of that every time I see Eric. I'm going to, remind me when Eric's on with us Monday if he enjoys his appearance, Deborah, on our show more than Anderson Cooper's show or vice versa.
I'll add it to our notes.
But that was really good. Yeah, and I didn't have to bother texting him like, hey, can you come on the show tomorrow? I just got the audio from Eric Erickson last night, breaking it all down for us. All right, let's give away $1,000 right now, Longoria. Stop dilly-dallying. You're not eligible, my friend. $5K a day bonus blitz. Your 10 a.m. keyword is money, M-O-N-E-Y, money. Enter the keyword money into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is money, M-O-N-E-Y. And I can't emphasize this enough. If you get a phone call after 10:30 from an 833 number, pick it up. It could be us telling you won $1,000. The keyword is money, M-O-N-E-Y, money. Good luck. I'll give you the keyword again in a few minutes in case you're driving and can't remember the word money. But take that $1,000. If I had $1,000 right now, Deborah, I would put it toward our vacation plans, our trips, our airfare. Maya and I are going to take a couple of trips this year. That would come in handy. They're international trips, unfortunately, so I can't fly Southwest. Southwest's companion program is back, and I mentioned the other day on the show that I think Sanjay does this. He and his beautiful wife, Josie, they fly Southwest all the time, and it's kind of like a BOGO. Like Sanjay buys a ticket and Josie flies for free or vice versa.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So this is back. What exactly is this program?
It is the Southwest Airlines Companion Pass, where if you're a Rapid Rewards member, which you must be if you're flying them all the time, you can earn a buddy pass for future travel. So basically you can designate that +1. So Sanjay's wife, right? And before you kind of had to rack up miles or kind of use card spending to go with it. Well, they've changed all of that. Now you just need to book 2 one-way tickets or 1 single round-trip itinerary to be eligible for this. And you have to, let's see, book by February 5th, so by tomorrow, and then fly by March 31st.
And then you're that's like
Yeah, and then you get a buddy pass.
I think Clark has that too.
I'm sure Clark has it.
So you just book 1 ticket by tomorrow and fly by March whatever
31st, yeah.
And then for the rest of the year,
you could designate that +1.
Vinny, this is you, man.
Yeah, you and Kennedy.
Yeah, you could that would up the relationship real quick, bro. You book a trip, and Southwest, you could fly. Does it say? Is like
it doesn't say where you can't fly. I don't know if there's any blackout stuff. It doesn't say in this promotion.
Vinny, you could fly Southwest, and I don't know the routes, but you can fly Kennedy down to Tampa for the weekend, and then fly back, and then for the rest of the year, wherever you fly on Southwest, Kennedy comes for free. Are you at that point in the relationship yet? Or Colby Cannoli?
Yeah, we'll take Kobe Cannoli.
All right. I don't want to put pressure on you and Kennedy so early on in the relationship, but
it's pretty early,
man. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, you head down to Florida quite a bit, don't
you? I do. All right. Let me tell you, is Clark still in the building today? Might need to get Clark Howard's take on that. That's a hell
We will have Peter on tomorrow.
Peter Greenberg. All right, but I have to book by tomorrow. Okay, so maybe, all right, Vinny, hold off. Don't book yet.
Let me know what to do first.
If I was Vinny's age and I got a BOGO on flights.
For sure. Southwest flies a lot of places.
Absolutely.
Especially out of Atlanta.
Yeah. You would look like such a baller. Be like, hey, you want to go to New York for the weekend?
That's a play.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm trying to
No, I got you.
Yeah. All right. Rare earth minerals in the news again. Secretary of State Marco Rubio hosting an international meeting aimed at securing access to the critical minerals vital for the production of semiconductors, electric vehicles, and electronic goods. The International Energy Agency warned that cooperation on the supply of such minerals is vital for the future of renewable energy. BBC's Jonathan Josephs has more.
China controls most of the 20 critical minerals that the International Energy Agency is increasingly focusing on. Copper, lithium, rare earth elements and other minerals are important in modern technology, including in renewable energy generation and storage. So world leaders want to make sure they have reliable and affordable supplies. The head of the IEA's newly created Critical Minerals Division, Tae-Yoon Kim, says it's vital not only to make sure there are enough to meet demand, but that they come from a diverse range of sources.
I mentioned yesterday I was going to dig up my backyard looking for rare earth minerals. I didn't find any. I found a dead frozen squirrel in the woods. Yeah. Well, Soba found the dead frozen squirrel.
Sad.
I know it's very sad. But I prefer a chipmunk to a squirrel in case you're keeping track at home. All right, 5K day bonus splits. Keyword is money, MONEY, money. Pop money into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. And if you get a phone call after 8:30 from an 833 area code, answer it. Could be us telling you won $1,000. 10:18, let's check the ride around town. Back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Stephanie Stallworth.
Hey, still busy for you on that east side, weighing heavy for you. Traveling northbound, coming up from 675 up towards I-20. Problem ahead, the vehicle fire. Northbound, 2 left lanes are blocked, so you're backing in for the heavy volume for you there. You want to avoid that area. Try 7585 downtown connector northbound as a workaround. Plus, the crash was up ahead of that near Covington Highway and now 120 west near Wesley Chapel. Update sponsored by Pizza Hut. Here's a game day tip. Order Pizza Hut before the first hut. And right now, the Big New Yorker is just $10. The biggest pizza for the biggest games only at Pizza Hut. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app,
all the notifications you
if
need.
you have the WSB app,
all the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB app.
The 95.5 WSB app. Download it from your app store today.
One of the worst ways to start your morning on a chilly winter morning is not having any hot water. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable. I want you to get a new water heater, folks, for only $29.99 a month, or go tankless for only $59.99 a month and enjoy endless hot water. Same-day water heater installation guarantee, or Reliable pays you $300. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Book Now button, or call or text 770-594-9969.
What if you could buy a flippable, two-sided mattress made with the finest materials that cost less than other luxury brands? This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory, and this is exactly what you'll find with our new Orthos line, available exclusively at OMF. We build these by hand using premium materials like wool and cotton. It's old-world craftsmanship with modern comfort, our most extraordinary sleep system. Built locally at a price other luxury brands just can't match. Visit the Original Mattress Factory and experience the Orthos line for yourself.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
I'm Anthony, and when I opened A1 Gold Buyers, I wanted to create a better way to sell gold. No lowball offers, no shady back rooms. Just honest appraisals, instant payment, and a comfortable experience from start to finish. We'll give you a free estimate within minutes. Come see me at 5779 State Bridge Road in Johns Creek, right next to Pike Nursery. A1GoldBuyers.com. Let's turn your gold into something useful. A1 Gold Buyers, where you get great service and great prices. Hey folks, it's Scott Slade with another great tip from my friends at Myland, Atlanta's local experts for home loans. So many people have credit card balances they don't pay off every month, which makes holidays more stressful than they could be or should be. The guys at Myland say a great product to use to reduce the amount you pay is a home equity line of credit, or HELOC. This allows you to use the equity in your home to pay off high-interest credit card debt without touching your first mortgage. HELOCs are typically easier and faster to close than a full mortgage, so you can expect to get cash much faster. Whether you want to pay off debts or handle large expenses, HELOCs can be a great tool to use. To find out if one is right for you, call Myland at 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online at myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. And please tell them I sent you. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
We're hiring at A1 Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at a1garage.com/careers.
A1garage.com. A1 from day one.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter for RJ's Auto Body Plus. Listen, you're in a car accident. Someone smashes into you. Guess what? You're going to call an insurance company, and they're going to send you to the body shop they want you to go to. You know what that means? The body shop and the insurance company are working in cahoots against you. But that's not the case at RJ's Auto Body Plus, because RJ's, they're working for you. They're your advocate. They're not going to lowball you with cheap parts and inferior service like the corporate body shops tied into the insurance companies will. They're going to take care of your car in the best way possible. They're going to make it spanking brand new. So call RJ's Auto Body Plus at 770-955-5020 or search RJ's Auto Body Plus. That's 770-955-5020 or search RJ's Auto Body Plus.
1024 on the Mark Arum Show. You heard the man, money. M-O-N-E-Y. That is your keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. You have 6 minutes to enter the keyword money into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. Keyword is money. M-O-N-E-Y. Won $1,000 in just a couple of minutes here at 95.5 WSB. Someone lost more than $1,000. Pour one out for this narco dealer. A boat was being pursued and decided to get rid of the cocaine that was on the boat, Deborah. And this was a lot of coke.
Yeah, but more than 100 packages of cocaine were tossed into the Pacific Ocean as these speedboat of, I don't know, I guess narcos were fleeing from the Colombian Navy. The Navy approached the boat and they're like, oh, okay, what's the best way we can do it?
U.S.
No, this was a Colombian Navy. Because, you know, there's been a lot of pressure on Colombia from the U.S. So the Navy was out there. They saw them. They went out towards the boat. The boat saw the Navy coming, and they just started throwing everything in the water there. So the Navy picked up about 116 packages. They said it's about $5.6 million worth of cocaine.
Do you think that the Colombian Navy was like one of the midshipmen was like, let me just put a bag of this in my pocket? Did you see RIP yet? The new.
I did. Yeah, I told you I saw that when it came out. Yeah. Interesting.
Where
Yes.
they find like $20 million in a drug house.
What
What
do
do
you
you
do
do
with
as a
it?
police officer?
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Interesting. All right. So kudos to the Colombian Navy cracking down. Real quick, getting more audio from Border Czar Tom Homan, his press conference this morning in Minneapolis.
More officers taking custody of criminal aliens directly from the jails means less officers on the street doing criminal operations. This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement. It's safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien.
Border Czar Tom Homan will continue to monitor the situation in Minneapolis. Keyword, 5K day bonus blitz is money, M-O-N-E-Y. Good luck. When we come back after news, weather, and traffic, massive shakeup in the race for the Georgia governorship. Political analyst Stephen Lawson live next on the Mark Arum Show.
Fine Jewelry Company, your engagement ring specialist in Beaufort, only 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia. You'll love their larger, high-quality diamond engagement rings, always paired with 5-star customer service. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, you've talked for years about the importance of having a financial plan in place because it gives us that roadmap for the journey of retirement. That helps us navigate the ups and the downs, you know, when life doesn't go to script. But hey, when can we ever count on life to go according to script?
Yeah, it never does, but we can script it out for you financially. And this is a pretty robust offer that we would present to you today. The first step is you call us or you go to unleashyourmoney.com and click that portfolio x-ray button or the 401k x-ray. That'll allow us to do about a 10 to 14 page report. We give it to you. It assesses exactly what's included in your financial life, all of your investments. From there, if you want us to take step 2 for you, again, completely complimentary, free of charge, we will build you an income plan to replace your paycheck in retirement. That income plan also includes tax strategies, which are extremely important for people in today's environment. Then if you want us to take the final step, we can fold all of that into a full financial plan and map it out for the rest of your life or until age 100. All three of those offers, completely free of charge, completely complimentary. I would start with that portfolio x-ray. It'll take us a few hours to generate the report. We do all that behind the scenes. We give it to you in a half an hour, 45-minute meeting. Very valuable information for you to have on your ready and take home with you.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group today, 770-580-2024. That's 770-580-2024 or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been, be right back. They've been rehearsing, bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. In case you're just joining us, Fulton County asking a judge to force the FBI to return ballots and other 2020 election documents seized in a search last week. Fulton County Chair Rob Pitts.
The motion also seeks the unsealing of the affidavit that was filed in support of the search warrant that the FBI used to raid our warehouse.
Now, it was reported that FBI agents seized hundreds of boxes of ballots, ballot images, and voter rolls under that search warrant. Your weather for today, morning rain showers, then afternoon cloud cover. We're going to be trending a little cooler, though. Highs around 52, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. 700 federal immigration officers are being withdrawn from the Twin Cities immediately. Border Czar Tom Homan.
My goal with the support of President Trump is to achieve a complete drawdown and end this surge as soon as we can.
Now, the drawdown in Minnesota is effective today. Homan says the feds have made significant progress working with state and local officials to arrest undocumented immigrants. He says those with criminal records are still the focus, but anybody in the country illegally is not off the table. He hopes to have a complete drawdown, he says, in Minnesota as soon as possible. There are lingering questions this morning after a spill at Hartsfield-Jackson sent an estimated 10,000 gallons of jet fuel into the Flint River. Georgia EPD Director Jeff Cohn says a House Environmental Subcommittee that a valve failure was the apparent culprit.
You have to watch these things every day to make sure, and we'll talk to them about some better secondary containment.
Thousands of gallons of fuel were removed from the river. The investigation is ongoing, as are monitoring and cleanup efforts. Advocates for cancer care and treatment in cancer patients are under the Gold Dome today for World Cancer Day. They're advocating for improved access to care in Georgia. Fabian Antoine Nasser with the American Cancer Society in Georgia.
As federal changes to healthcare and marketplace options are looming, Georgians have already been losing coverage. So we are imploring the legislature to find a bipartisan solution to make sure that every Georgian, especially the ones that are battling cancer, will have access to care.
She says they're also going to be pushing for the reinstatement of funding of Georgia's tobacco use prevention program. We were paying less for car insurance last year. The average annual full coverage premium dropped 6% nationally to just over $2,100, according to data from Insurify. 39 states saw their prices fall, including 8 states with dips of 15% or more. But you can expect those premiums to increase this year by about 1%. Here in Georgia, it's projected that our rates will go up about 1.8%. So on average, that's about $53 more than you were paying last year for car insurance. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is currently in positive territory, up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ's down more than 0.5%, and the S&P's also in the red. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. It starts in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
It looks like we're getting a little bit of better news there on your east side, perimeter 285 northbound. Up there by the Covington Highway, crash has been cleared. Still working. Vehicle fire cleanup, though, 285 north. Right near I-20 was on the left side of the roadway. Right lanes were getting you by. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, drizzly, and breezy at times today with highs around 52. Lows tonight in the low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, staying breezy and chilly with highs in the low 40s. But a warm-up on the way Friday. Mostly sunny Steady skies, high around 55.
It is 50 degrees in Roswell, 49 in Beaufort. Vinings has 51 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Thursday, starting at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, Scott Slade's Georgia for this week, the move to replace the Cherokee Rose as our state flower. Join us on 95.5 WSB.
Major political bombshell dropped yesterday in the state of Georgia. We have a well-heeled candidate running for governor. What does it all mean? Political analyst Stephen Lawson reacts live next on the Mark Arum Show.
At Coosa Valley Credit Union, we believe in the power of human connection. When you call us or stop in a location, you're always greeted by a real person who's friendly and ready to make your banking experience stress-free. This is Andy Harris. If you're tired of automated tellers, come see us at Coosa Valley Credit Union.
Hey, it's Mark Arum here, and this is for all the listeners who are struggling with hair loss. I'm sure you've tried the lotions, pills, creams, and potions. With so many options and doctors out there, who are you going to trust? What's really going to grow your hair back? The answer? The Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. It's an incredible breakthrough, folks. Receding hairline, thinning hair, bald spots. Advanced Hair offers a simple, quick, one-day treatment that begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And get this, Advanced Hair even guarantees your new hair will grow. Works for men and women across all ages, and there's no one in hair restoration I recommend more. For your free consultation, call 470-660-HAIR, and if you move forward, you'll also get $500 off. 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that has redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that guarantee. If you get a chance, check out the incredible before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
10:36 on this fast-moving edition of the Mark Arum Show. I told you it would be stuffed to the gills. Did we ever get the origin of that phrase? Vinny, get on that. I want to know the origin story of the phrase stuffed to the gills. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Paul Simon at Chastain. In an hour, Deborah's got a $150 gift card to Spa Sidel just in time for Valentine's Day. And then right after the new news, another chance to win $1,000 in the 5K day bonus blitz here on 95.5 WSB. Joining us live in studio as does every Wednesday at this time, political analyst Stephen Lawson. And no shortage of topics to talk about today. An absolute political bombshell dropped yesterday, Stephen. Healthcare exec philanthropist Rick Jackson announced, unbeknownst to just about anyone, that he was going to run for the GOP slot for governor. What was your reaction when you heard this?
Yeah, totally shocked. I think everybody in the Georgia political world was totally floored, taken back, had no idea. This came out of nowhere, right? And Mark, we've talked about on your show the contours of this race for governor, especially on the Republican side, had been fairly settled for a long time. We had the front runner before yesterday, I believe, was Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, and we had Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and Attorney General Chris Carr. That had been the field for a many number of months, and then out of nowhere, out of left field, comes an outsider, a business person, and a massive self-funder in Rick Jackson to completely turn this race on its head.
Lest Mr. Jackson's listening, let's say he came out of right field.
There you
Instead
go.
of
Yeah,
left field.
there you go, yeah.
So I was surprised because I know of Mr. Jackson, just his incredible rags to riches story and the amount of charitable donations he's made. But I mean, no one saw this coming at all, and he got kudos for the video launch for his campaign. And Vinny grabbed a little bit of this. And not knowing him, what his political background is, I think we got some clarification from this video.
After China threatened to cut off antibiotic exports during trade talks with President Trump, Jackson saved the last antibiotics producer in America from bankruptcy, increased production, and sacrificed millions to save American lives. When COVID hit Georgia, Governor Kemp asked Jackson for more doctors and nurses. And Jackson delivered again, refusing to send help to New York until Georgia got the emergency care it needed.
A portion of the launch video, he talks about ending the woke ideology in schools. He talks about he donated $1 million to President Trump. It seems like he is picking a lane, tying himself to President Trump, and maybe trying to outright Burt Jones. Is that, am I just reading the video wrong?
Yeah, no. I think that there's a lot going on. First of all, I think he's trying to, of course, introduce himself to the electorate in a way that people don't know him, right? Mm-hmm. He's got this very heartfelt, touching rags to riches story. He was a foster kid growing up. He was kicked out of multiple foster homes growing up in Techwood, having to really fight and pull his way out of that, all the way to creating a multi-billion-dollar healthcare company, healthcare staffing company. So I think he's trying to do that. At the same time, he's running in a Republican primary, and we know that tie to Donald Trump is important. We know that the lieutenant governor has the president's endorsement. The president has not said anything yet about Rick Jackson. I imagine that will be something that he will try to work towards over the next couple months. But the amount of money that Rick Jackson is planning on spending in this race, talking about $50 million, that is a game changer, particularly, Mark, because we are in February. We are less than 90 days from early voting in this Republican primary. That's a lot of money to spend defining yourself over the next 3 months.
Can we read anything to the fact that he announced on February 3rd, so much later than the other candidates you mentioned? Does that mean this was never his intention, but he got calls from some people like, hey, we need you in this race? Maybe even President Trump called and said, hey, why don't you jump into this thing and get us a clear-cut front runner?
Yeah, I think probably for Rick, he probably felt, when you get to that level of success, I think in the business world, you kind of get to do whatever you want to do, right, in life. And it feels like that's probably where he's at in life. He probably saw that there was a lane here to run. We've talked about some of the polling. We've talked about the lieutenant governor is currently the front runner in the race, but there's a large portion of undecided voters left, not just in that race, Mark, but in many of these races. And I think somebody with an outsider, a business person perspective, but that can write a big check to define themselves, to make sure that their ads are on the Mark Arum show and in a big way, I think that's a pretty smart move.
I think you smartly said the outsider role. When you look at Jones and Carr and Raffensperger, no true outsiders. President Trump was an outsider when he came in and smashed the glass ceiling. Making that comparison like, hey, I've never held political office. I'm beholden to no one. I'm too rich to bribe. You know what? I mean, that is
you can't own me. You can't buy me. And there was a line in his intro ad from yesterday that I thought did exactly that. He said, if you want to sit on your butt, binge watch Netflix and eat Cheetos, you're not going to do it on the taxpayer dime. That is a Donald Trump type line. And if he's able to really just speak his mind because he isn't bought or paid or beholden to anyone, he's going to get some traction in this race, and he's definitely going to be somebody to watch for.
Political analyst Stephen Lawson joining us live in studio here on the Mark Arum Show. There had been some attack ads against Burt Jones, $14 million blitz from the Georgians for Integrity. I don't know if you've seen them on TV or heard them on the radio. And the AJC questioned, do you think Rick Jackson was behind these? The campaign's denied any involvement. But so, making this huge splash is one thing, but getting the poll numbers up and getting the name recognition out is Burt Jones Mr. Jackson's biggest rival at this point for voters?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is quickly, in my mind, probably going to turn into a two-person race between the lieutenant governor and Rick Jackson. That's not to discount the Attorney General Chris Carr. That's not discount Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. I think they both have records that they're running on and are certainly qualified. But the level of money I think that will be involved, this race is going to be taken to a new level. And I think it's going to be a race ultimately between Rick Jackson and Burt Jones. And it's probably going to go to a runoff at this point. I think that's safe to say, given the amount of money that Rick has pledged to spend in this race. But it's going to be really interesting to see how President Trump and Governor Kemp react to this news, right? My gut is that the governor will continue to stay on the sidelines in this race to succeed him. We know that President Trump has endorsed Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, but what does he make of Rick Jackson's entrance into this race? A business person like him, that's going to be really. And then how does Burt Jones respond to this? Those are two things I'm going to be on the lookout for over the next few weeks.
Watching that. And I am not a political analyst, but I've been around the block. What I think Rick Jackson's biggest strength right now is, again, this is a day into this, is that you mentioned he appeals to the MAGA base, right? With his ties to President Trump, get off the couch, stop eating. Was it Doritos?
Cheetos. Yeah.
All right. Well, if it was Doritos, I'd feel attacked, but I don't eat Cheetos, so I feel better about that. But I also see with this story, he'll appeal to voters. The rags to riches story just sells everywhere. But with his business success, like the Chamber of Commerce Republicans might be like, oh, all right. He might appeal to a broader scope of the Republican voters than another candidate might.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other interesting wrinkle on this, particularly in a Republican primary, but if he does get to a general election, he is a healthcare executive. He knows the healthcare industry. And I would say for Republicans, that is a huge policy vulnerability for them right now. But if you get somebody that knows that industry and can explain it in and out, that's a potentially a very strong advocate to have.
And could the administration tap Mr. Jackson's expertise? Like, we need to come up with a plan. We need a counter plan. We need to do something. That's a very astute observation there with that healthcare background. All right, so Rick Jackson is in. I don't know if this helps or hurts Brad Raffensperger and Chris Carr. Does this widen their lane of possible voters? If Jones and Jackson are spending money going after each other, is there a lane that one of Raffensperger or Carr could make that primary?
Yeah, I think it's possible, right? Anything is possible. But what I have seen in this race, what we have seen to this point, I think just indicates that the runway is now short. Again, we have about 3 months until people start early voting. That's going to put a premium on resources. And both of those gentlemen have yet to really define themselves in terms of paid media in a real way. I think that runway, again, is very short, and it's going to benefit the people, the candidates with the resources. And right now, by all accounts, that is Rick Jackson and Burt Jones.
You mentioned endorsements earlier. President Trump's already endorsed in this race. We'll see if that holds firm or not. I just saw that Newt Gingrich has endorsed Rick Jackson. I mean, Newt Gingrich, a big name in Georgia politics history. I don't know how much sway his endorsement has now, but could you see maybe other business leaders coming out that might not enter the political fray and say, Rick Jackson, I've seen him do great things in business. He'd be a great leader for the state of Georgia.
I think it's certainly possible. Obviously, when you get that high in the business world to the point where you're a billionaire, your Rolodex is pretty large, and there's probably a lot of friends of Rick Jackson across the state and across the country that are going to see this as welcome news and want to help out. So again, it's going to be very fascinating to see all of the support that he gathers. But again, I go back to, how does Burt Jones respond to this, right? Does he double down and say, hey, we're going to go full throttle? His family obviously is independently wealthy. Do they tap into that in a more real way and sort of up the ante in this race? Like I said, either way, it's going to be good for advertisers across the state, I think.
Amen. I want to tap into your analyst Rolodex tool belt, if you will. Before he makes this announcement, does the Jackson campaign do any sort of internal polling? Do they get polls out to see, all right, is this feasible? That's something that goes on, right?
Yeah, I think when you're spending that much money on a campaign as a business person, I would imagine that Rick Jackson has a very good read on where this race is, and I think that potentially illustrated his decision to get into the race. Again, when you are that successful in business, I don't think you make really bad bets, and he's betting on himself, and we'll see where that goes.
Mr. Jackson, if you want to release those internal poll numbers, just go to markarum.com and contact Deborah and send us. I'm very curious to see, and let's get UGA polling. I'm going to call my buddies at Marist up in New York. I want to see some new poll numbers here. No, I mean, not hyperbole. This was a bombshell yesterday. No one saw it coming, but things got, if they couldn't get more interesting in this election year, they certainly just did. Dentons.com for all things related to Stephen Lawson. Stephen, great stuff. Thanks for jumping in on the breaking news, my friend.
Great to be here.
10:49 on the Mark Arum Show. When we come back, we'll update our top local stories. Hopefully, traffic is not our top local story. What say you, Stephanie Stallworth?
Oh, trying to get it looking better for you out here. That east side perimeter much better. Everything out of the roadway 285 headed north, heading up towards I-20 vehicle fire and crash up by Covington Highway. Other issues south of town, 75 south, watching it live on the jam cam at Hudson Bridge, pulling a box truck out of the center of the roadway. Had to hold all lanes to do it. That's why you're sitting in the traffic, because you'll be moving here shortly. Update elsewhere, looking pretty good for you downtown. Volume trying to ease out northbound. Stephanie Stallworth, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
I just won $1,000 on WSB.
WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Are you serious?
95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Winter certainly has had a little giddy up in its step recently. If you haven't noticed, your furnace has, your old furnace I'm talking about. Mark Arum from my pals at Reliable. An amazing offer right now from Reliable. Any size furnace, any size, $59.99 a month. Comfort as a service. 0 down, low monthly payments, all feature repairs, maintenance, even filters. A guaranteed no additional charge for life. Book an appointment for a convenient time right now on their website at reliableair.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Looking for something this weekend? Head to Lakewood 400 Market, where shopping feels like an adventure. Shop over 500 booths packed with home decor, fashion, art, collectibles, and one-of-a-kind finds. Grab a bite, bring a dog, make a day of it. Lakewood 400 Market. Discover something you didn't know you were looking for.
Coming up from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, presenting a Delta classical concert featuring music from Bernstein's Broadway showstopper, West Side Story, February 12th and 14th at Symphony Hall. Tickets at aso.org.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, and we've partnered with Cupid to bring you the best Valentine's Day gifts, even if you forgot. We won't tell. From heart necklaces with sparkling diamonds to stylish gold hoops, every piece is made with love. Plus, there's still time to propose. We make it easy to create their dream engagement ring. We have meaningful gifts for every budget. It'll look like you've been planning this for months. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I don't know what happened, but these days, people seem to go straight to the worst case scenario. Okay, the garage door stops going up and down, and they think the whole thing is trash. No middle ground. It's the garbage or nothing. Perfectly good door, perfectly good motor, and you spend thousands of dollars you don't even have on a new one, instead of just fixing the part that's broken. Ugh. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. If you crash into your door, okay, we're probably going to have to replace it. But almost any other failure can be fixed with a partial repair, saving you thousands of dollars. If your door won't go up or down at all, it could just be a broken spring, and the motor and tracks are fine. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. And, don't crash into your door.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This is Andy Harris, president of Coosa Valley Credit Union, inviting you to come see us for your auto loan needs. If you're buying a car or refinancing your current auto loan, at Coosa Valley Credit Union, you'll get one of the lowest interest rates in the market. Now, auto loan rates are as low as 2.99 APR when you open an account with a direct deposit. Coosa Valley Credit Union is local and nearby in Northwest Georgia. Plus, you'll always speak to a real person when dealing with us. That's what we call kinder banking.
Contact 706-235-8551 for more details. Equal Opportunity Lender.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
My husband and I have reached the age where we are no longer DIYers. Enter CertaPro Painters. Hey, it's Ashley Frasca. You know, I highly recommend them for any job, inside, outside, commercial. Franklin made sheetrock repairs seem effortless before painting our vaulted ceilings. Then they clean up and go, leaving you happy. Schedule a free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. The choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Each local CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high. Rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. If your retirement is mostly stocks and bonds, you may be taking a risk, more risk than you think. And when you're near retirement, a sharp drawdown at the wrong time can do real damage. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all Americans' smart money uses to hedge against instability. Its precious metals, silver, and gold is having a spectacular bull run. Would it not make sense to get in before the rocket takes off? Monetary Gold have been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. They have the experience to help tailor your portfolio to your needs. If you call now, they will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. That's 877-NOW-GOLD.
Our family is grateful for a verdict of responsibility, which is all we ever wanted.
That's Fred Goldman. You might recognize his name. He was the father of Ronald Goldman, who was murdered by O.J. Simpson. 29 years ago today, a civil jury in Santa Monica, California, found O.J. liable for the deaths of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. That was 29. Deborah, what is going on with time?
It's time, yeah. None of us have aged at all, yet all these years go by.
Well, on the AI caricatures, I keep seeing my friends on Facebook post them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks nothing like you. Like,
really?
Ours look good, but like, I don't know how you twerk it, but like,
I twerk it,
well,
yes.
not you twerked it, but other people, I'm like, that is not you. You know. Anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. I mentioned this earlier. Americans have a new favorite grocery store. Deborah Rodriguez has details.
Maybe it's the viral mini totes. There's a new ranking of shoppers' favorite supermarkets, this one based on voting by more than 30,000 customers. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index, Trader Joe's has surpassed Publix as #1 for the second year in a row with 86 points. Publix scores 84. Texas-based H-E-B gets just one less to take the bronze. Next is Costco. Target rounds out the top 5. Sam's Club, Aldi, and Whole Foods all make the top 10. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
When I heard that Publix wasn't #1, I just assumed it was Wegmans. But they're not even the top list. I love Wegmans. Trader Joe's, $2 Chuck. I get it. Tote bags. Walmart #5. Now
H-E-B #3.
Hebe? Is that how you pronounce it?
That's not how you pronounce it. No, it's not.
News, weather, and traffic in 2 when we come back. Top stories, and Deborah's got Paul Simon tickets to give away next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been... Sorry, be right back.
They've been rehearsing, bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere, live, to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. There is new information this morning on the raid of the Fulton County Elections Office last week by the FBI. This morning, the county files a motion to have a judge force the FBI to return ballots and other 2020 election documents. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien's been following the story and joins us live. Jonathan?
Yes, Sabrina, this new motion filed by the county today comes a week after the FBI took hundreds of boxes of documents, including 2020 election ballots from the county's Union City election hub. Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts telling me they want the documents back and they want access to the criminal affidavit in this case.
This is about democracy. It's about the Constitution. And I say because the Constitution is the law. It's not a suggestion.
Pitts says the county's legal team took their time formulating this action, which is now in the federal court system. No word on what the next steps could be. Reporting live in Fulton County, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you, Jonathan. Your weather for today, cloudy this afternoon, trending a little cooler, highs around 52. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards coming up in just about 2 minutes. Border Czar Tom Homan announcing this morning that some federal agents are leaving Minnesota. Correspondent Michael Wallace has more on that.
We'll draw down 700 people effective today.
Homan says that will leave about 2,000 agents in Minnesota. He says they've made significant progress working with state and local officials to arrest undocumented immigrants.
This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement.
Holman says those with criminal records are still the focus, but
if you're in the country illegally, you are not off the table.
He says agents have taken hundreds of people accused of homicide, assault, and sex crimes off the street.
Everybody should be grateful to that.
And happening now, a search underway for Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's missing mother. It's now in its 4th day. Liz Krautz reporting this morning an intense search of the area around the 84-year-old's southern Arizona home has so far come up empty.
FBI agents are now working closely with local authorities. The sheriff's department says Guthrie had several cameras at her home, but it's still unclear if there's any footage from the overnight hours when she was believed to be abducted. They're also still trying to find any usable video from neighbors' homes.
And we've also learned that Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker was last seen. It sent a signal to an iPhone at 2 a.m. on Sunday. Her cell phone was found at her home after she disappeared. Stay with us. We'll continue to follow this story, bring you any updates as they come in. In Cobb County, police out with a warning for drivers to observe the move over law after an officer is injured in a crash on I-20. This crash caused hours-long traffic delays.
Cobb police say Officer A. Menard suffered minor injuries and is expected to make a full recovery after his patrol car is rear-ended an I-20 eastbound near Riverside Parkway. They say 23-year-old Kennedy Scott of Indianapolis was driving in the same lane, didn't move over, sending the patrol car into the concrete wall in the middle of the highway. Scott's car crossed all lanes, wound up in an embankment. He suffered serious injuries. At the time of the crash, Officer Menard was parked with his emergency lights on as he assisted in an unrelated crash. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Officials from self-driving car companies like Tesla will be on Capitol Hill today to discuss federal regulations of the industry. The hearing before the Senate Commerce Committee comes as the companies are calling for a framework to secure American leadership in the self-driving vehicle business. It also comes as the technology is under scrutiny following several safety incidents. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ is down more than a full percent. The S&P is also in the red. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. And good news in Stockbridge. That earlier trouble we had, 75 south at Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224, that has cleared. All lanes are open. Still watching the brake lights from Highway 138, but they will be improving. New trouble, south side perimeter, 285 eastbound, the outer loop at I-675. Crash in the right lane there and part of the left lane of that ramp coming off of 675 north. And heads up leaving the airport, there's a crash on the 85 northbound ramp to 75-85 northbound there near Langford Parkway. Left lane of the ramp is blocked, so it's causing some brake lights coming up from Cleveland Avenue and Metropolitan Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies through the afternoon, breezy with a high around 52. Clear and cold tonight, lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy at times, highs in the low 40s. Warming up on Friday with sunny skies, highs in the mid-50s.
It is 50 degrees in Roswell. Beaufort has 49. Vinings, 51 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I'll run this town to be near you.
11:05 on a no shock, extremely busy news day Wednesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah is going to give you a $150, well, not every single one of you. One of you listening will win a $150 gift card from Spa Sidel just in time for Valentine's Day. Just in time for Valentine's Day. Coming up in 1 hour, I am going to give you a keyword on the 5K Day Bonus Blitz, another chance to win $1,000. But bonus prize today, Deborah. What do we have to give away right now?
How about a pair of tickets to see Paul Simon at Chastain on July 13th?
Phenomenal. And Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I will be at that show as well because I am going to use whatever little influence I have to get tickets that I've never seen Paul Simon. I'd love to see him, especially at Chastain. All right, Vinny Drip, let's do the 11th caller to 404-872-0750. Caller number 11 to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Paul Simon at Chastain, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Good luck to all the Paul Simon fans out there. I'm guessing, don't hold me to this, that Paul Simon might have some special guest pop up. Right? Like just, oh, hey, look, it's Carly Simon or something like that.
That would be cool,
right?
But I'm trying to think if he's done that in the past.
I think he's known for that. Anyway.
Maybe.
Continuing our team coverage of the breaking news that popped during the show, Border Czar Tom Homan had a press conference while we are on the air live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and said a lot of interesting things, including this.
We'll draw down 700 people. Effective today.
700 federal agents withdrawing from Minneapolis. That's kind of shocking considering what's been going on in Minneapolis. Let's go to Minneapolis with the latest. Whitney Wild, CNN. What can you tell us?
Well, Border Czar Tom Homan laid out a new strategy here, calling it targeted operations that prioritize national security and public safety risks, and also said that he's getting an unprecedented level of cooperation from local law enforcement and local leaders throughout the state. What that means in practice, Wolf, is that they have more opportunity to get some of these people who have been charged with a crime or taken into local custody from jail and bring them into ICE custody. That is a shift in strategy security there. Mr. Holman also laid out a change in the chain of command there, saying it is now one chain of command. Customs and Border Patrol will still be working under that chain of command, but they will be working in tandem with ICE under a single unit. So that is another shift there as well. What Mr. Holman said over and over was that it is the unprecedented level of cooperation, again, from local law enforcement and local leaders that is allowing them to draw down. And he thanked multiple times Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, but he did not expand upon specifically what cooperation he might be getting from Hennepin County and Minneapolis. Moving forward, Wolf, he also said that just because law enforcement, ICE, Border Patrol is going to prioritize national security and public safety risks does not mean that anybody who is undocumented is off the table, saying that they may still eventually be a target as well. Here's more from Border Czar Homan.
The complete drawdown is going to depend on cooperation, continued cooperation of local and state law enforcement, and the decrease of the violence, the rhetoric, and the attacks against ICE and Border Patrol.
Wolf, he also praised President Trump, saying that this level of effectiveness here is unprecedented, while also praising Governor Walz and, again, the leaders.
All right, so that's Whitney Wild this morning. And I know it's 2020's hindsight and all that, but you can't help but think, like, if Tom Homan was in charge of this from the get-go, we wouldn't have seen the mess in Minneapolis, right? Just he obviously is the right man for the job. He's like, yeah, all right, let's take 700. We're going to be fine. We're getting cooperate. Like, just it was just, and I'm not blaming President Trump, and I'm not, he went with Kristi Noem and I forgot the head agent's name, the little fella. He went with them, and I mean, hindsight's 2020. But I can't help but think that if the Border Czar was there from get-go, that we wouldn't have those two ICE shootings, we wouldn't have the horrible protests, we wouldn't have the Don Lemon church thing. Oh, speaking of which, I didn't play this yesterday. Don Lemon, the reason I mentioned this is because Don Lemon used to live in Atlanta. He was on CNN. He lived in Atlanta for a long time. Famously got arrested after that protest in the church. He was on Jimmy Kimmel, I think, 2 nights ago. Then he pulled the audio yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to play it. So this is Don Lemon explaining to Jimmy Kimmel what he was doing in that church.
Well, listen, obviously I'm in the middle of this. So I can't say a lot. There's a lot that I cannot say, but what I will say is that I'm not a protester. I went there to be a journalist. I went there to chronicle and document and record what was happening. I was following that one group around, and so that's what I did. I reported on them, and so, but I do think that there is a difference between a protester and a journalist.
Jimmy asked Don Lemon if he was treated well after the arrest. Apparently, like 20 FBI agents arrested him at his Beverly Hills hotel. First of all, he's living in a hotel in Beverly Hills, which is crazy.
So not by the guys that arrested me, obviously, but not all federal agents are the same. And the guys who work for Homeland Security and the FBI are not the guys that you see out there on ICE, who have 47 days of training, who are, violating people's due process rights. They are completely different people.
Finally, Don Lemon asked how he got arrested by the FBI.
Walking up to the room, and I pressed the elevator button, and all of a sudden I feel myself being jostled, and people trying to grab me and put me in handcuffs, and I said, "What are you doing here?" And they said, "We came to arrest you." And I said, "Well, who are you?" And then finally they identified themselves, and I said, "If you are who you are, then where's the warrant?" And they didn't have a warrant, so they had to wait for someone from outside, an FBI guy, to come in to show me a warrant on a cell phone. And by that time, I was like trying to, figure out what was going on to get my bearings, and they dropped all my stuff. My glasses had fallen on the floor. I'm like, I can't read that. So they had to pick my glasses up, and I read it, and still, what does that mean? And then it was a bunch of guys, and they took me outside. FBI guys were out there. I mean, it had to be maybe a dozen people, which is a waste, Jimmy, of resources, because
Don Lemon on Jimmy Kimmel. Now, honestly, were the protesters arrested? Because they're the ones that I think, and you can consider Lemon a protester or independent journalist or whatever, but anyone that goes into a house of worship, to me, should be arrested. That is above and beyond the pale of peaceful protesting to interfere with someone's worship. Like if that happened at a synagogue, I'd lose my mind. I'm assuming, Deborah, if you're your Catholic church and protesters come in, like that's a bridge too far.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know what the judge is going to do, what the DA is going to do, but I'm glad I'm not Don Lemon. And I'm glad I didn't go in and protest in a church. I think that was a bridge too far. 11:12 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming up in 35 minutes, we're going to go in-depth on the Epstein file release, some unexpected backlash from Goldman Sachs. We've seen backlash. We heard Bill Gates say, oh, I'm sorry I was on the island. Fergie is getting toasted over in England. And now Goldman Sachs is reacting to apparently some names that popped in the Epstein list. We're going to talk to Todd Gillespie from Bloomberg after the news at 11:35. I do want to update. Speaking of Bloomberg, I have not yet checked the markets today, Deborah. I know you've been sitting on a ton of gold, so hopefully gold is up. Gold's down $11, but Dow's up 338 points. Crypto, oh my God, is down $2,700. Deborah, this is a massive Bitcoin crypto drop.
Yeah, Bitcoin dropped to its lowest price since 2024. And this is basically, it said it's falling below $75,000, which hasn't seen that big of a drop since April. And that is when the president kind of announced his tariff plans and everything went crazy. Like everything dropped. But that's the last time that Bitcoin has been that low.
But I don't have the chart in front of me, but Bitcoin was like at 120,000 or close to that at one point. And now, as you mentioned, it's down. It's at 73,622 right now, which is down. Just today is down 3.63%, $2,700 drop. What exactly is going on with this situation? Nathan Bomey from Axios covers crypto.
Well, crypto is a very volatile asset, and when the market gets volatile, then people often want to sell it off. You know, this is an asset that is tied to other riskier assets, and risk is the kind of thing in the market that sort of moves in tandem. And so if there's other, risk in the market that people want to essentially flee, then crypto ends up taking a beating because of it.
Do you have a cold wallet, Deborah?
A cold wallet?
Yeah.
Not that I know
I
of.
never heard that phrase, so I binge watched Steel, the show on Netflix.
I started watching that, yeah.
And they're talking about like, oh, I've got $5 million on my cold wallet. So apparently it's you download your funds onto like this hard drive that only you can access, and it's called a cold wallet. But if you lose it, you're SOL.
Longo does not need another wallet.
No. Longo's got a cold wallet in his wallet. That's how big and fat your wallet is. But I learned that phrase, cold wallet. I don't have a cold wallet or a hot wallet. I've got a thin wallet I actually put 3 new business cards in there, Deborah.
I'm digital now.
You don't carry a wallet at all?
If I do, it's like just for one stuff that I need, but most of the stuff's digital now. I have digital license here, digital cards.
Heard. All right. This is a crazy story. I don't know how much time we have, but there's been a warning now from, is it the FBI or Homeland Security warning about an increase? Listen up, Longoria. This pertains to you. A warning about an increase in domestic partner poisoning, where like couples, one of them will poison the other.
Yeah, this comes from the Department of Homeland Security. Apparently, it's been on the uptick these past couple years. So if you're having issues with your spouse, there's been all kinds of noted crimes against them. And people are using, their spouse is using things like arsenic, cyanide, and eye drops to slowly poison.
Eye drops?
Apparently, eye drops has just enough chemical in it that if you take it slowly over a period of time, it makes you very, very sick. Anyway, they're saying that this has been happening more and more because these chemicals kind of mimic, maybe you had the flu, food poisoning, you're not feeling bad, but over time, it eventually is going to kill you. And so DHS is saying, hey, be aware of this. One of the husbands poisoned his wife by putting eye drops in her protein shakes that he would make her every day. Now, he was busted, but I guess this is the way to end your relationships now.
Maya sent me this story. Is that her way of getting at?
Don't use eye drops?
No, I think that's her way of saying, hey, I'm cooking too many dinners for us. Like, let's order out more because
I'll start poisoning you.
Yeah, basically. That's horrific. And the fact that the Department of Homeland Security issues the warning, that's not like, oh, it's happened once in Topeka and once in Portland. this has to be happening a lot for the Department of Homeland Security to be like, hey, your spouse could pop cyanide in your Coscajones. Or
Other major chemicals are antifreeze, because a lot of people have antifreeze in their garage, so you just put a couple of drops in your food.
Good grief. Well, Maya, we're going out to eat. We're going out to eat. Job well done, Maya. All right, 11-8. Hey, congrats to Jenny. Seats taken. Jenny from Cumming won a pair of tickets to see Paul Simon in July at Chastain. I will see you there, Jenny. I am definitely going to be at that concert. Still to come, Deborah's got a $150 gift card to give away to Spa Sidel. And right after the new news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance to win $1,000 on WSB. Right now, though, at 11:18, we got to check the ride around town. Let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Much better news with several crashes we've been watching. The one leaving the airport on the 85 North ramp to 75-85 North there near Langford Parkway, that has cleared, as well as the crash that was in the right lane into DeKalb, 285 eastbound, the outer loop at I-675. Still some leftover volume, though, 75 south through Stockbridge as you get down to where trouble pushed off to the right at Hudson Bridge Road. And left lane construction causing delays in DeKalb. It's 20 eastbound just past Panola Road, stacking up that ride east of Wesley Chapel. Traffic brought to you by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your destination for nonstop entertainment. No purchase necessary. VGW Group void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions 21+. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
I just won $1,000 on WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Are you serious?
95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, it's a brand new year, and that means it's a great time to get organized and get your financial house in order. So if that's one of your New Year's resolutions, Hoffman Financial Group is here to help with that, aren't we?
Yeah, so we make it simple, right? And it goes back to saving people time. Don't worry about you having to work with us. We work for you. So if you were to reach out to us, we would start with something as simple as the portfolio x-ray. Simple as far as your time that you need to provide us some data points on, but we'll take the hours and we'll apply our expertise to generate a pretty comprehensive look at your financial life, specifically your risk profile, the fees in your portfolio, the performance over last year, 3 years, 5 years, the last 10 years against benchmarks. We'll also stress test it. Can we go back in time and say what would have happened to your portfolio during the Great Recession or the dot-com bubble that burst or the COVID correction? It'll give you an indication of how much your money is at risk. All of those components mixed into one simple 10 to 14 page report. We'll give you a copy of it. We'll walk you through it. And as I say, I have yet to see one that didn't have 2 or 3 golden nuggets, as I call them, of opportunity for you to contemplate possibly enhancing your financial future moving forward.
Get 2026 started on the right foot with this complimentary offer from Hoffman Financial Group. There's no cost for the portfolio x-ray, and the report is yours to keep. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Are you trying to sell your home the traditional way? Weeks of showings, perfectly timed vacuuming, awkward strangers judging your furniture. Then the price drops start, followed by the slow emotional descent into, well, let's just take the offer. Or you could try Orchard. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy your next place before you even think about selling the current one. You move in, breathe, maybe even sit on a couch that isn't covered in plastic for staging. Meanwhile, Orchard handles everything with the old place. Repairs, upgrades, marketing, without you lifting a finger. And then, when it sells for more, which it usually does, you get a second check. One when you move, one when it sells. No begging, no bargaining, no baking cookies before every open house. just a better way to move. Get your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
I don't know what happened, but these days, people seem to go straight to the worst case scenario. Okay, the garage door stops going up and down, and they think the whole thing is trash. No middle ground. It's the garbage or nothing. Perfectly good door, perfectly good motor, and you spend thousands of dollars you don't even have on a new one, instead of just fixing the part that's broken. Ugh. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. If you crash into your door, okay, we're probably going to have to replace it. But almost any other failure can be fixed with a partial repair, saving you thousands of dollars. If your door won't go up or down at all, it could just be a broken spring, and the motor and tracks are fine. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. And, don't crash into your door.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
$11:24 on the Mark Arum Show. We interrupt regularly scheduled programming. Joining us live in studio, our good friend English Nick. You hear him on 97.1 The River.
You did invite me to interrupt.
Yes,
you.
I did.
Yeah.
No, and maybe it's because I am such a fan of Downton Abbey. But my Instagram feed is now all full of things United Kingdom related.
Mhm.
And I want you to come in. I had never heard of the Sunday roast.
Oh, yeah.
In the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Which looks phenomenal. And I want that to be a thing in the United States.
Yeah.
Explain briefly what the Sunday roast is.
So that would be, when growing up, Mum would make a Sunday roast. So you had roast beef or roast lamb, even maybe a whole chicken. You got your roast potatoes, maybe some boiled potatoes, Brussels sprouts, carrots,
with a
peas,
Yorkshire pudding. Gravy on everything. So I love all things UK and I love all things food. And apparently there's, Sunday roast restaurants.
Yeah.
The carveries, I think they're called in the United Kingdom, where you can get the Sunday roast 7 days a week. And the main question I wanted to ask you is, they had roast beef, they had turkey, and something called gammon.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes.
What the hell's gammon?
Gammon's ham.
Oh.
Yeah, pork.
We'll just call it ham. Well,
Hammond.
I was like, is that a new animal that they have in Europe?
Yeah, it's got to be to do with how they cook it or how they cut it, I believe. It may be what part of the pig it is, but that's gammon. But
All right, you're an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You and I get together. Let's open a Sunday roast restaurant here in Metro Atlanta.
Let's do it. Maybe we start with a truck and then build from there.
You and your trucks.
Can you imagine Mark Arum and English Nick in their food truck? Union Jack on one side, American flag on the other.
I love it.
A picture of gammon on the back, whatever that is.
The Sunday roast.
Yeah.
It looks so good. All right, Nick.
A toast to the Sunday roast. And can I just say, the Downton Abbey music makes me so emotional.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. I just binged the whole thing and the movies.
Thanks, Nick. All right, we're going to open a restaurant together whether he knows it or not. News, weather, and traffic at 3. When we come back, Deborah's got a $150 Spa Sidel gift card to give away, and in-depth on the Epstein file release, unexpected blowback at Goldman Sachs. What? We'll check with Bloomberg News live next on The Mark Arum Show.
The
Linda Skelton with my friend Damon to tell his story about his experience with virtual imaging. It's the gold standard in early detection of heart disease and cancer. I've been encouraging listeners to get screened using their EBCT scan. It can save your life by giving you your calcium score in your arteries, and it can detect cancer at the earliest stages. Damon, tell us your story.
I have an awful family history of both heart disease and cancer. Both parents and grandparents had one or the other. Also, my annual physicals have always been eye-opening with very bad levels of cholesterol and high blood pressure. I heard the free offer from virtual imaging. It was easy. Took 10 minutes. I was nervous, but the score came back 0.
Awesome.
Yeah. What a relief. They say for the most part, with a 0 score, I have very little chance of suffering a heart attack for the next 5 years.
Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan with few minimum requirements. Call now at 770-678-SCAN or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
If your old heater decides to call it quits in the middle of winter, no biggie. Castile Heating and Cooling are your local experts at keeping you warm inside while kicking the cold to the curb. We'll be there to help same day, with no emergency fees, even on nights and weekends. Castile even replaces your broken unit the next day with free estimates available. And right now, trade in your old unit and get up to $5,000 toward a new HVAC system installation. So don't let heating issues stress you out. Book CastileAir.com today.
Hey folks, it's Scott Slade with another great tip from my friends at MyLend, Atlanta's local experts for home loans. So many people have credit card balances they don't pay off every month, which makes holidays more stressful than they could be or should be. The guys at MyLend say a great product to use to reduce the amount you pay is a home equity line of credit, or HELOC. This allows you to use the equity in your home to pay off high-interest credit card debt without touching your first mortgage. HELOCs are typically easier and faster to close than a full mortgage, so you can expect to get cash much faster. Whether you want to pay off debts or handle large expenses, HELOCs can be a great tool to use. To find out if one is right for you, call MyLend at 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online at mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. And please tell them I sent you. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
Hola, I'm Carlos Franco, Sales Associate at Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. My job is to make sure you have the best Lexus buying experience ever, in English or in Spanish. I'll be here every step of the way. We treat our guests like family at Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Call 800-NEW-LEXUS.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage, your dealership alternative. New since Atlanta's Morning News, Fulton County demanding the return of the 2020 election files that were taken in an FBI raid last week. County Chair Rob Pitt says he's filed a motion this morning in federal court.
We will fight using all resources against those who seek to take over our elections. Our Constitution itself is at stake in this fight.
Now, the motion seeks the unsealing of the affidavit filed in relation to the FBI search warrant. Your weather for today, it's going to be cloudy this afternoon, highs around 52. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Border Czar Tom Homan says that 700 federal officers are being withdrawn from Minneapolis. National security contributor Samantha Vinograd explains that Homan's plan is to use targeted enforcement rather than sweeps.
They very carefully engage in that operation, that arrest operation, often with the cooperation of state and local law enforcement. So they have a profile of the individual, they have an operational plan, and they often do it in coordination with state and local law enforcement.
The drawdown in Minnesota is effective today. Homan saying he hopes to have a complete drawdown as soon as possible. Happening now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio hosting an international meeting aimed at securing access to the critical minerals vital for the production of semiconductors, electric vehicles, and many electronic goods.
Protect every single stage of production, from mining to refining and processing to manufacturing. All of these things, protecting them from non-market disruption.
Rubio says the future depends on creating a bilateral critical minerals framework agreement. There are lingering questions after a spill at Hartsfield-Jackson sent an estimated 10,000 gallons of jet fuel into the Flint River. Georgia EPD Director Jeff Cohn told a House Environmental Subcommittee that a valve failure was the apparent culprit.
You have to watch these things every day to make sure, and we'll talk to them about some better secondary containment.
Thousands of gallons of fuel were removed from the river. The investigation ongoing, as are monitoring and cleanup efforts. Bahama Breeze shutting down all restaurant locations nationwide, including 2 restaurants in Metro Atlanta. They're going to convert some Bahama Breeze locations to other restaurants, including the Bahama Breeze location on Barrett Parkway in Kennesaw. Its Duluth location is also on the list to be closed. It'll be open, though, operating through April 5th. And a new study this morning shows that dads may have more of an impact on the heart health of their young children than mothers. The findings by researchers from Pennsylvania State University were published in the journal Health Psychology. The study looked at interactions with infants and what they had with their fathers and their mothers, and it found that fathers who were less attentive to their 10-month-olds resulted in those children having poor heart health at the age of 7, including inflammation and high blood sugar. The mother's behavior did not seem to have the same impact. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now in positive territory, up 371 at 49,612. So the Dow is up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ is down more than 1%. The S&P is also in the red. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams joining us now with a look at your roads.
Hey, Sabrina, still watching some slow traffic through Stockbridge. No lanes blocked, just the volume. 75 southbound starting before Highway 138, but improving once you get down to Hudson Bridge Road. Looking for new trouble in Midtown, 75-85 southbound below 17th Street near the 14th Street Bridge. We'll see if any lanes are blocked there. And the left lane construction continues in this murky weather in DeKalb County. I-20 eastbound just past Penola Road, exit 71. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, drizzly, and breezy at times today with highs around 52. Lows tonight in the low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, staying breezy and chilly with highs in the low 40s. But a warm up on the way Friday. Mostly sunny skies, high around 55.
52 degrees in Kennesaw. It's 50 in Decula. Alpharetta has 52 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It doesn't have to be like this.
The second crash we're dealing with this morning.
You don't have to put up with
Use
it.
Covington Highway as your alternate.
You don't have to sit in it.
Travel advisory in Sandy Springs.
And you don't have to look at your phone to get out of it.
It is Atlanta traffic, and getting you out of it is what we do
Consider
best.
using Buford Highway or Satellite Boulevard.
Updated traffic as often as you need.
Traffic is at a crawl.
From local traffic reporters you trust 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta gets there.
I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women.
Bill Gates trying to explain his way out of the Epstein files. There's some splaining to do at Goldman Sachs. Todd Gillespie from Bloomberg News joins us live next on the Mark Arum Show.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. This Valentine's Day at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, when you spend just $199 or more, they're including a free diamond necklace plus a box of chocolates with your purchase. They've been Atlanta's Valentine's Day destination since 1939, and they're your one-stop shop for the perfect jewelry gift this year, with 2 showrooms near you in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. Shop their Valentine's Day gift guide online at dgeller.com.
Looking for something this weekend? Head to Lakewood 400 Market, where shopping feels like an adventure. Shop over 500 booths packed with home decor, fashion, art, collectibles, and one-of-a-kind finds. Grab a bite, bring a dog, make a day of it. Lakewood 400 Market. Discover something you didn't know you were looking for.
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, camel, and a
11:38 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming up in less than 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance to win $1,000 on 95.5 WSB. But the do not need to wait to win. What do we have right now, Deborah?
A $150 Spa Sidel gift card. Spoil your loved one this Valentine's Day with self-care at Spa Sidel. The iconic big burgundy gift certificate or the e-card is available now at spasidel.com.
Bet 10th caller to Vinny Drip. 10th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a $150 gift card to Spa Sidel, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Caller 10 to 404-872-0750. Continuing our team coverage of...
The focus was always, he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them
the Epstein
to give money to
files,
Global
Bill
Health.
Gates, the billionaire, trying to excuse his way out of it. Bill Gates, not the only one catching shrapnel from the Epstein file. How about Goldman Sachs? Joining us live and covering the story for Bloomberg News, Todd Gillespie. Todd, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So Goldman Sachs was, going to have an annual meeting celebrating their financial successes, but then we had that massive drop of the Epstein files and kind of shook up the agenda.
That's right. And all of these top partners at Goldman Sachs from around the world are convening in Miami this week, basically to have their annual summit. You know, the bank has experienced great growth, great revenues over the past year. And obviously most people are looking forward to talking about that. But obviously now with the Epstein files, the large drop that we had on Friday, reams and reams of emails have come out showing that Kathy Rumler, the bank's general counsel, the top lawyer who gets paid more than $20 million a year, she exchanged repeated emails, was clearly having had a strong association with Jeffrey Epstein for many years before she joined the firm. This is while she was a lawyer at Latham & Watkins. And repeatedly, the bank has sort of characterized this association that they had as professional. And what these emails show is that actually she ended up, accepting tens of thousands of dollars worth of gifts from him. She sometimes called him Uncle Jeffrey. She described him as like another older brother. And indeed, in an exchange about sex crimes, she actually addressed him as Sweetie. And one time when she was accused of having a relationship with one of his married lawyers, she forwarded an email from that man's aggrieved wife to Epstein. So it sort of shows a level of proximity that the bank, or at least many people at the bank, hadn't really understood before and hadn't realized.
Wow. So, I mean, we haven't had any pushback on Capitol Hill yet to politicians who have been in the Epstein emails, but Goldman Sachs, that's a different kind of world. What is Goldman Sachs going to do with these revelatory emails now?
Well, the thing is, right now, David Solomon, the bank's CEO, who actually appointed Rumler to this top position earlier on in his tenure as CEO, he has stood by her consistently, said that she has been very forthcoming with, any due diligence processes that the banks have had. They've had third-party review, long before this set of emails was released. So it's sort of unclear exactly what the top management of the bank knew and didn't know before the release that we had last week. But so far, the CEO of Goldman Sachs is standing by her. But our reporting shows that inside the bank, a lot of senior management at the bank, partners and employees through, across the ranks of the bank are starting to be quite uneasy about the fact that the bank is consistently and persistently defending their top lawyer even in the wake of all of this.
At the end of the day, Todd, will it be the investors that have the final say on her future?
Well, ultimately, right now, it seems to be in the hands of David Solomon. He's a very respected CEO. At the moment, he recently kind of reasserted control after a blundered entry into the consumer banking business that he's now essentially stabilized and seen record revenues at the bank last year. So he himself is in a very strong position. He has a lot of capital right now at the bank, so a lot of people are being very deferential to him. But ultimately, as well, it may be the board as well that might potentially put pressure on him or might have their say over issues like this.
Have we heard from Rumler herself?
Yes. I mean, she says she had no ongoing knowledge of criminal conduct during the time of this correspondence with Epstein. She said she didn't know him as the monster that he's since been revealed to be. She, has referred to these decade-old private emails that are being selectively referenced that have nothing to do with her work at Goldman Sachs. She also says that none of this media coverage helps to, quote, bring closure or justice to the girls and young women who are victims of his crimes, for whom she has enormous sympathy. But it's also just worth noting that all of these emails came after Jeffrey Epstein's conviction in 2008, where he pleaded guilty to soliciting sex from minors. So this correspondence and this relationship association that Rumler had with him, that she consistently has called professional, lasted for years, even after those convictions.
Yeah, timing on these emails is everything. Final question for you, Todd. Might we expect any other names from any other big-name financial institutions to be sorted out through these files?
Well, it's certainly clear that Kathy Rumler is one of the most consistently, one of the most mentioned people in these files. At the moment, obviously, there are people like Leon Black. There's Jez Staley as well, the former top executive at JP Morgan Chase and Barclays. These are people who've had long-running associations with Jeffrey Epstein and have already been suffered in their professional lives because of those connections that have been made public. I think there are still continued disclosures that are coming out. Bearing in mind, we are talking about tens of thousands of emails, and people are still sifting through a lot of these and trying to understand and piece these things together.
Final quick listener question, Todd. Listener wants to know if J.G. Wentworth is in the Epstein files.
JG, I'm afraid they can go to any listeners can go to the DOJ website themselves and type in any name. I think the helpful thing about these Epstein files is that they are released in a searchable format, so you can literally search someone's name, Control F as well, and find any keywords that you want to find.
Right.
So it may take some time, but I encourage anyone who would like to find out more to go to the DOJ's website.
So Frank and Ackworth, just search J.G. Wentworth in the files and we'll determine it. Todd Gillespie, Bloomberg News. Todd, fantastic stuff. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
He didn't get it.
He did not get the joke. No.
The listeners got it.
Everyone else got it.
He's like,
we all got it.
Yeah.
I wish we had the song. Find the song.
He's British. He doesn't know the song.
No, it's probably quite different.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyway, Frank, there was no Frank and Ackworth asking that question. That was just me being a Weisenheimer. Hey, congrats to Danielle and Alpharetta. She just won a $150 gift card to Spa Sedell. That beautiful burgundy gift card just in time for Valentine's Day. Phenomenal stuff. Congrats, Danielle. We are not done giving away awesome things. Coming up right after the new news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day bonus splits. Another chance to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. 11:46. Let's check the ride around town live with the latest. Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark. Still watching a little bit of volume towards Stockbridge on 75 southbound, starting just before Highway 138, but improving once you hit Hudson Bridge Road. The West Freeway slowing, 20 eastbound. Looks like just volume, though, from Fulton Industrial Boulevard to 285. And the left lane construction continues into Cab, 20 eastbound, just east of Panola Road, exit 71. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
He's asking you questions.
Hey, you know what? What's eating you up?
He's asking more questions.
What, are you empty? Soulless?
And he's offering nutritional advice.
Pica, I think, is the thing where you eat like...
Oh, yeah, chalk and...
ashes, clay.
Eric Von Hassler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Atlanta homeowners, your grades are in. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton of the Agency Atlanta, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate right here on 95.5 WSB. Each Saturday, my show covers Atlanta's residential housing market and all things real estate. I've been thrilled that so many WSB listeners have taken me up on my team's offer of a complimentary home report card. This is a customized analysis on your home, a secret weapon to get more when the time comes to sell. Know your home's strengths and weaknesses, learn how it stacks up against your competition, and the best time to sell. When it's time to move, you'll know how to net more money. Spring selling season has already started, so if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, let me send you the Agency Atlanta's free home report card. It's invaluable information, it's free, and there are no strings attached. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hello, my friends. Mississippi.
Paul Simon in concert, a very special performance of the critically acclaimed 7 Psalms, and a celebration of his timeless classics.
People think she's crazy. She got diamonds on the sole of her shoe.
July 13th, Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss this summer celebration with Paul Simon.
My wake-up call came 3 years ago. Like many of you out there, I was savoring some time with my parents. It's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. I remember we were preparing a meal, and I saw my dad struggling with a boiling pot on the stove. That was the moment I knew I had to get into action on the home care options for my parents. Have you seen some red flags recently with your folks? Like them struggling with day-to-day tasks, being a little confused, having trouble remembering to take their meds. If your aging parents are showing signs, but they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, please Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta and request a consultative call. It's free and it's a crucial step towards your parents getting what they want and need, allowing you, the child, to do your role and just love them. Google Four Seasons Home Care. That's Four Seasons Home Care.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high. Rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. If your retirement is mostly stocks and bonds, you may be taking a risk, more risk than you think. And when you're near retirement, a sharp drawdown at the wrong time can do real damage. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all Americans' smart money uses to hedge against instability. Earth's precious metals, silver, and gold is having a spectacular bull run. Would it not make sense to get in before the rocket takes off? Monetary Gold have been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. They have the experience to help tailor your portfolio to your needs. If you call now, they will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. That's 877-NOW-GOLD.
11:52 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 49th birthday, Gavin DeGraw. This is I Don't Want to Be. I should know who that is, but I really don't know who that is. One other moment in history, 22 years ago today.
When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people. Harvard didn't have a Facebook, so that's the gap that we were trying to fill.
Mark Zuckerberg launched the Facebook 22 years ago today. Zuckerberg, there's a name we got to search, the Epstein files.
Oh, yeah, Ken, get on that one.
Yeah, Ken, if you're listening.
Our boss is literally searching for names.
He searched J.G. Wentworth. I'm happy to report J.G. not in the files, but Fergie is. And she is now, England is cracking down on these Epstein files. We got the former prince now ousted, and now Fergie's catching some shrapnel.
Yeah, Fergie, the former Duchess and ex-wife of the prince, not the former Black Eyed Peas singer, but her charitable organization shut down immediately because of the ties that it's had with Epstein. And again, all of this comes from linking it after his 2008 conviction, where he basically admitted to everything, and there was things in there, I'm sorry, I want you to meet my 2 daughters, which is terrible, and even congratulations on your baby. So they shut that organization down.
So Fergie lost her charity because of this. J.G. Wentworth in the clear. I like the British language. We had English Nick on earlier. The English language, we're starting to lose some words, and linguistic experts say it's time to bring these words back. I love this. I don't know if I've ever said this in my life. Poppycock. That's a word that is dying out of the English language. Tomfoolery. Whippersnapper. I have used that. Perplexed. I think that's still in there. Fiddlesticks. Hanky-panky. I don't think we need to bring that back. Crikey. Now that's a good word. Crikey, mate. Gallivanting. I still use that. Kerfuffle. Yeah, you could retire that. Bamboozled. Gobsmacked. Chuffed. Use chuffed in a sentence. I'm not even sure how.
Never heard that.
Mark was chuffed when he got new baseball cards.
So I was happy. All right. I was chuffed when Longoria got us Whataburger today.
That's right.
And the number one time-honored word to bring back, flabbergasted. That is a good word.
I don't think that one's lost.
You still use it, Vin?
You say flabbergasted?
I do.
All right, Vinny. Never mind heard then.
If I am not invited to a Super Bowl party, I am going to be flabbergasted. Apparently, Super Bowl munchies are going to be a little cheaper this year.
Chicken's down because we produced about 2.5% more chicken last year than the year before. So lots of chicken out there in the market.
Wells Fargo economist Michael Swanson says it's not the only game day staple with a lower price.
Some of the real big favorites for Super Bowl are actually down from a year ago.
Wings are down nearly 3%. Avocados are also down, along with tortilla chips and frozen pizza.
While chicken wings are a bargain and cheaper avocados will keep your guac prices down, a colorful veggie tray is likely to cost more.
Well, it won't impact me, a colorful veggie tray. Speaking of frozen pizzas, preparing for the ice storm, Maya and I stocked up, and I got the French bread mini pizzas. French bread pizzas from Stouffer's. I haven't had a French bread pizza in a long time. So we got them. We didn't use them during the ice storm, but we made them the other day. And Maya was putting eye drops on them for some reason. But they taste just like you remember. When was the last time you had a French bread pizza, Longoria?
20 years?
Yeah.
6th grade, probably.
Yeah, it was a nice trip down memory lane.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't put it in the weekly rotation, but it was a nice trip. By the way, Super Bowl party, if you want to invite the crew, we'll bail at halftime, but we'll show up there for the first half and root against the Patriots and eat your food. So markarum.com. All right, now you know, because of the Mark Arum Show, this is where we recap what you might have heard today and what you now know on the Mark Arum Show. We'll start with
as a business person, I would imagine that Rick Jackson has a very good read on where this race is, and I think that potentially illustrated his decision to get into the race.
That's political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio. Phenomenal breakdown about the bombshell announcement yesterday that healthcare executive and philanthropist Rick Jackson, stunning everybody, announced that he is going to run for the Republican seat in the governor's race here in Georgia. Huge story. Fantastic analysis by political analyst Stephen Lawson. Now you know.
At the end of the day, the Constitution gives the primary authority to come up with election procedure, run elections to the states. The Constitution also says Congress has the ability to alter the rules.
Natalie
but not the
Brand
president.
from CBS joined us live in the nation's capital reaction to President Trump wanting federalizing elections. And finally, now you know.
Is this abduction related to Savannah's high-profile job? And if it is, how scary it must be for everyone who's on TV at any day part or any movie or whatever it may be. And it shows the risks that are out there. So,
correspondent Rory O'Neill on the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mom.
Are you guys ready for the Mark Arums?
On a normal day, it could have been Longoria coming through with Whataburger. On a normal day, it could have been political analyst Stephen Lawson with really, really good analysis. But sad day here at WSB Radio. We say goodbye to our beloved Sweet Ann. Today is her last day. Her choice, not a layoff. She is moving on to bigger and better. She's going to be a movie star. Sweet Ann, we're going to miss you. You've been a vital part of the Mark Arum Show on WSB Radio. The digital desk. Let's take the S off of every keyboard on the digital desk in honor of Sweet Ann. And I gave her that nickname, and it stuck. Love it. We're going to miss you, Sweet Ann. 5K Day bonus splits, keyword coming up after the noon news. I am on social media at Mark Arum. Follow me, please. Stay safe. Have a great Wednesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
If your parents are approaching age 62, I want you to talk to them about the advantages of not taking Social Security the first day or first year they can, and look at options other than that to delay, because the benefits long term, if you live longer than you expect, of delaying Social Security means you get a huge check versus what you get if you take Social Security really early.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere, live, to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 12 o'clock on this Wednesday, February 4th. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This is the news here at noon, and our top local story.
Our Constitution itself is at stake in this fight.
A week after FBI agents raided Fulton County's election office, officials have now filed a new legal action.
The motion filed by the county today asks a judge to order the documents that were seized in last Wednesday's raid be returned to the county, and that the Justice